evening, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, right here on Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. This is me, your boy Larry, bringing it to you here on another beautiful Wednesday evening. It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2019, and ladies and gentlemen, football fans everywhere, get ready, because here we go again. Week 1 of the NFL is in the books. And I'll tell you what, it was about as awesome as it could possibly be. As advertised, we started things off with my favorite kind of game on Thursday night last week. Pure defense, baby. That's right. Pure defense. The Packers and the Bears was every bit of the defensive showdown I wanted to be, and it sure was. Packers got that thing done in an upset, and I am not quite sure what's going on with the Bears. I know it's only week 1, but that is kind of scary early. Anyway, with that said, the Titans take care of business. What in the world is wrong with the Browns? I'm sorry, but I expected so much more out of this team. We'll find out today, especially from our guests talking about those Browns in our primetime face-off, the last one of the night. Anyway, moving forward. Ravens destroy the Dolphins. Yeah, like we didn't think that was going to happen. Vikings over the Falcons. Excuse me, where do those Viking teams come from? Are they going to make me a believer in them yet again? They just might. Bills over the Jets. Aw, Jets, too bad, so sad. The Bills did just enough. These two teams are going to go at it in the next game, and I cannot wait. I wanted the Redskins to win. I picked them. I thought they were going to get done with that pass rush, and guess what? Eagles fly, Eagles fly. They got this thing done with quite the comeback in the second half. Rams over the Panthers, and probably the best game of the week. Chiefs destroy the Jaguars, as we knew they would. Chargers and Colts. The Colts and the Bolts go to overtime. What? Seahawks and Bengals. Talk about one for the first week ages. Quite the game there. Cowboys just trounce the Giants. Lions and Cardinals. Well, I guess no one's the winner there, right? We got our first tie of the season. Niners over the Bucks in quite the battle. Patriots will just rout the Steelers. And then on to Monday, the Saints and Texans won for the Monday Night Football record books of just awesomeness. And my Raiders got it done! Ladies and gentlemen, you are officially tuned in live to 3 and Out, right here on Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports. Welcome, football fans. Well, first things first, as I always say, y'all, thank you all so very much for being here this evening. Could appreciate y'all more. Mad love to every one of our listeners out there. As I always start things off by saying, all glory to God, man. Without God, nothing's possible. So that's always the first thing that's just got to be said. But, of course, thank you to our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And, of course, to all the listeners out there who make this thing happen. We couldn't appreciate y'all more. Appreciate you all for tuning in and showing us some love. And, well, as you can see, the introduction, yeah, that's kind of what happened in week 1. So, anyway, with that said, let's not waste any time and get right on into the fun for today. We have 3 primetime face-offs. Back to normal. Last week we had 4. But this week we are ready to go with 3 primetime face-offs to get to primetime. Well, to get through our primetime games for this week. Y'all know the drill. If you're just tuning in, well, if you're just tuning in for the first time today, welcome, because you're in for a treat. Anyway, with that said, we got Thursday Night Football, Bucks and Panthers. I mean, we have a Panther fan on the line. He'll be on momentarily, but I'll tell you what, those Bucks, let's just say I kind of thought it'd be a little closer, but it wasn't. So, yeah. Anyway, the Panthers are looking as advertised. They lost a game that it's kind of sad to say this, but they should have lost to a very good football team, but it was not by much. What did that say for the Panthers? I think it says a lot of positive things. Anyway, we'll get into that later on today. We have our first primetime face-off of the night, of course, with my boy, Mr. John Felipe, And, of course, a newcomer here, Mr. Ben White, joining us later on to defend his Buccaneers. Sorry. I don't know why I said Ben White. He's Cleveland. Mr. Dentarius Locke, for those of you who don't know Mr. Dentarius, man, Mr. Professional Track Runner over there doing his thing. And I just mentioned that Mr. Ben White, he will actually be taking on, from 8 Divisions in 8 Days, Mr. Matthew Lowndes of the MLB Network. He's an associate of the MLB Network, so he'll be joining us for Monday Night Football, that primetime face-off tonight, as his Jets take on Ben White's Browns, and then for Sunday Night Football, so of course I kind of skipped around there, sorry, but then of course in the second primetime face-off of the night, we will have Eagles and Falcons. We got actually 2 newcomers here that I'm really excited for. Mr. Clutch City, man, really glad to have this guy aboard, man. Really excited to bring him aboard for tonight. He's rare and ready to go to defend his Eagles, and then of course we got another newcomer, and I really think this is going to be a really good primetime face-off. Don't know how it's going to go, but he's actually a YouTuber. So, the Dawn of the South will be joining us, y'all. Really excited to have him on tonight's show. But with that said, those are our primetime face-off combatants for tonight. Let's introduce you to our co-hosts, of course, all my boys, man. Big shout out to each one of them. First things first, gotta say, he's that Panthers fan in the house tonight. Well, it looks like Dentarius will be taking him on in just actually a little bit over an hour. Ladies and gentlemen, glad to have him here. As I always say, go follow them on YouTube. Subscribe to them, that is, The Brothers Blue on YouTube. He is one half of The Brothers Blue on YouTube. And if you don't follow them or subscribe to them, if you're not already subscribed to them, as I always say, then shame on you, but go show them some love, man. Also, their videos are being released on the IE Sports Radio YouTube channel as well, so go check them out. And they're also on another one that I totally forgot, so he will go ahead and bring that up as well. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in one of my co-hosts here for tonight. Well, all throughout the season. Couldn't be here last week, but he's here this week, ready to have him. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the one, the only, Mr. John Felipe. What's going on, John?
Hey. What's good, brother, man? Glad to be here.
Hey, man. Glad to be... I gotta turn you up one more time. Okay, one more time, John. What's up?
Glad to be here, guys.
Glad to have you aboard tonight, brother. Glad to have you aboard, man. And also, we got another cat here on the line, and this guy... Let's just say he's either really happy or really irritated. I don't know which one I would be. I don't know. As a Saints fan, I don't know how happy or how concerned I would be after Monday night. But we're going to hear about it momentarily. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, he was in our first primetime face-off last week as he took on our very own Mr. Ixsound Blake Henley. Of course, the Texans fan here on iSports Radio. He's, of course, one half of Bases Loaded here on iSports Radio, our baseball show with Mr. Brandon Buckingham. And proud member of the iSports Radio family, of course, as well as the Defining Moment team. We got to get him back on there, and basketball starts back up. Super excited for that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the Fat Mac himself, Mr. Callum Reynolds. What's going on, Callum?
Hey, what's going on, Larry? Baby, I'm a Saints fan. That's why I holla, who that?
That's what's going on, Colin. Hey, man, we're glad to have you tonight. Gentlemen, we're both glad to have you here. And, of course, as you all know, it's just this is me, your boy, Larry B. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at THE_LB53. Check me out. Show me some love. I am the guy that's completely dissing the Raiders every chance I get, even after a victory. What? Anyway, with that said... Oh, we're going to have fun with that one later. Anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and get on in to the Week 1 recap and have some fun with this, y'all. So, here we go, y'all. Week 1 recap getting ready to get started here on 3 and Out. We're not even taking a commercial break. We're going to get right to the action. Why? Because, gosh dang it, let's have some fun here. Of course, we'll have Mr. Mike Peck joining us momentarily. Well, of course, he'll catch up with us real quick, but I got to have... the thoughts on these 2 games. We're gonna start with one game in particular, just because I have to know what he's thinking about this game. This is actually both of these guys. But first things first, we're gonna start things off with that Panthers game, because my gosh, it was everything that you would have thought that looked like an NFC Championship type of game, man. Like, this was a good football game. Not trying to exclude the Saints, Kylam, but I'm just saying, the Panthers, this was a very good football game. I'm so glad I got Sunday tickets so I could watch it, and it was a good one. So these guys went back and forth, and, well, hey, it was two heavy, as I tweeted about it, it's two heavyweights going head-to-head, and, well, I think that went all 12 rounds. So with that said, let's start things off as the Los Angeles Rams would head on over to the East Coast and defeat a very fiery, raring and ready to go Carolina Panthers team who scored one late. Actually, they were just within 3 points. I'm sure there was an onside kick in there somewhere. I must have lost track of that little channel because I know I watched all of them on split screen, well, 8 screens, but yeah, this was a very good football game, and, well, so close yet so far. So with that said, let's turn it on over to John. Hey, man, your boys looked good, but just weren't good enough.
Yeah.
Give us your thoughts on this game.
Yeah, no, we did look good. Let's start with the positive. Obviously, this was a good game, and it would have been much better if we would have won and pulled it out, but you know, there was times that it looked like we didn't deserve to win. So this is something to build on. We were going against the defending NFC champions. So it's not, you know, it's no slouch. I'm happy by Christian McCaffrey's output and how he looks in this offense. I think that was the biggest thing. I think Christian McCaffrey looked fantastic. He had, I think, 200 total yards, 2 touchdowns. We were able to utilize him in every phase of the game. That's my pro. My con is Cam Newton did not look great for the same things that the injury prevented him from doing last year. So he didn't look great in throwing the ball deep down the field, and it's not like he had bad throws deep down the field. He just didn't throw it. And then second, he was hesitant to run, and you could tell that shoulder was scaring him a little bit. The upside is we were still able to produce despite that, but the hope going forward is that once Cam's shoulder is ready, he can get right back into MVP form. And at this point, it looks like, based off of the hesitancy, that it's not his shoulder not being ready, it's Cam not having the confidence to actually let it fly.
That is a very good analysis of that game. Colin, jump on in here, man. Let's know what you thought about this crazy game.
Well, I was actually shocked about the score. I thought the score would be have a much bigger gap in the scoreboard. But let's look at this game. Cam Newton made more headlines for his outfit than his play on the field. I mean, I'm not hating on Carolina because it's my division rivals, but being Cam Newton, MVP caliber quarterback, he has to be the catalyst for this team. I mean, yes, Christian McCaffrey, like John said, 229 yards total, something like that, 2 touchdowns. I mean, the longest pass Cam Newton had was like 17 yards, and that actually was to Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, to win in this league and to be dominant and make a snap, the quarterback has to play to his full potential. And then the Rams, they didn't play the best game either. So I look forward to seeing how these two teams go down the stretch. But great win by the LA Rams. Thanks for beating the Panthers, and we'll see y'all this week.
Oh, I didn't even know y'all were playing them. Ooh, that's right. There's quite the reason why this game is going to be so exciting. Anyway, I'm not going to go down that road. But with that said, I you know what? Real quick and dirty, guys, that was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed this game so much. There was one point in this game where I really thought, like, oh my gosh, the Panthers are going to take down. They're going to take down the Rams. Like this team is going to beat the Rams. Like I genuinely thought they were going to beat the Rams at one point.
Yeah, it's Cam's shoulder. Once his shoulder is good, I think this team is good.
You guys looked really good, but then there was this one point where you were good until you weren't, kind of. You know, like, you're absolutely right. And there was something bothering him. Didn't know it was a shoulder, but, man.
He actually, that was the first time he really played in any kind of meaningful, intense action since the shoulder surgery.
Well.
And it's the same one that kept Andrew Luck out for a year, and Cam's only missed, a couple months, so.
Oh, you trying to have Andrew Luck, huh?
Yeah.
Poor Luck, man. I'm still sad about that, man. Poor guy. But he did what he had to do, and it was for all the right reasons. So, but with that said, guys, I do feel that McCaffrey completely went off, and he balled out. But like what Kylam said, Cam Newton, this is your team, brother. This is your team. Nothing against Cap McCaffrey, because that man is going to become a legend one day because it's all of his hard work. But you're the face of the franchise, Cam. I know you're injured, but this is where you dig deep and make things happen. He's an amazing athlete. But I completely got to say that, he's got to heal up. But this is just some of those points. What in the world is that? All right. So with that said, maybe that's like the buzzer to let us know to move on. So with that said, though, once again, Rams defeat the Panthers 30-27. McCaffrey, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns, 19 carries. My gosh, if he's on your fantasy team, I know you were happy. He was also leading receiver with 10 receptions and 81 yards. So we're going to get to fantasy in a little bit here with our teams and how they did this week. But I'll tell you what, that was quite the show from this young man. So good job there. Next up, why not just go on here to the next level? Well, to the next team of ours and move on to Kylam's game, man. Actually, let's move on to Monday night real quick, man. I just want to I have to hear what this man has to say. So first and foremost, I went on all year long last year talking about Texans being a paper team, and you know what? For the first time, they did not look like a paper team. They looked like a team that's ready to compete, and I was excited for this. So Drew Brees did his usual, got his whole grip of yards. Kamara, they held him to just under 100 yards with 97. But my gosh, Deshaun Watson completely went off. Carlos Hyde, not too bad. I mean, he also got held to under 100 yards as well with 83. But Hopkins is this man is absolutely insane. He just continues to show why he's one of the best receivers in the NFL. And I mean, this was a great game. Regardless, Will Lutz is the MVP of this game, man. I love it. Will Lutz will nail a 58-yard field goal, man, to win this game. Talk about range. Talk about just an athlete. Yeah, well, the dude's got got the golden boot. But man. So, Kylam, walk us through this game, man. Tell us what you thought about it.
Well, I'm always happy when my team wins, but a little nervous going into that halftime. I mean, the offense wasn't, besides the drive deep into the red zone and the interception by Drew, the offense wasn't really gelling, that first half. I gotta give the Texans, man. The Texans was playing great football. They was keeping Drew and Kamara off of pace, but then that second half, we came to life. Deshaun Watson played a phenomenal game in spite of his back injury, the tightness, stiffness of his back after that awesome touchdown run to the pylon. Great. He said Hopkins, this dude is phenomenal. Hit some drops. He had posted before the game some goals. Not many drops this season, but he had some crucial blocks, some crucial drops, and we capitalized on some mistakes that they did make. And then once those engines started churning and the Superdome got rocking, and we came through. I mean, our rookie Gardner, he roughed the kicker at the end, and he beating himself on the sideline. I'm like, man, what the is going on? I'm like, come on, no, Saints, you can't open the season like this. And like you said, the Golden Boot Lutz, man, when they ain't won the game for us. And we going into week two, Larry, with some pros and cons. The pros is Kamara didn't play his best game. Drew Brees wasn't he had numbers, but he wasn't as effective controlling the tempo. And then just the great thing about it is we have a lot of weapons, man, and we're gonna be dangerous with that. So great win. I'm not scared, but I feel that we have some work to do.
Concerning. I completely agree. Concerning. But, overall, you guys look pretty good. I was really excited to see how well Drew Brees just continues to perform. I mean, this guy is ageless, man. Everyone talks about Tom Brady, and we cannot not, bring up Tom Brady and how legendary he is. But you cannot not bring up, Drew Brees as well, man. This dude came out of Purdue and then continued to be this driving force through this team from the moment he got there and all the way till today. I mean, he is he's amazing, man. There's nothing this guy can't do. He's that elite athlete. But hey, this week was definitely Will Lutz, man. What a kick, what a job. And you can't be more excited than to have a kicker that can get you in range. Well, I'm sorry, a kicker that even when you're not quote unquote in range, you're still in range, basically. So, great job by him, man. And my apologies, guys. I gotta start getting things charged up before we get on here, John. But apparently, John's laptop died, so he'll be back in a little bit. But also, Mr. Mike will be joining us momentarily. But with that said, so we're gonna go ahead and just go backwards here now into the week. So I had to hear what Colin had to say about his Saints and what John had to say about his Panthers. But with that said, let's go ahead and move back now into Titans and Browns. And my gosh, man, the Titans, this was just a mollywop. I mean, this was sad. Like, seriously, this was absolutely sad. The Titans just destroyed the Browns. There was nothing doing. This team looked terrible, man. Like, I had high hopes for this team. I messed around and got Baker Mayfield, and Njoku got a touchdown, yeah. But, I mean, really, I got Landry. Like, I'm over here thinking, like, I've got their defense. Like, I mean, that was my mistake, actually. But I really thought that this Browns team was going to be electric for the first time ever. And, well, they were anything but that. Absolute trash. I mean, I'm so sorry to say that, but they just looked terrible. There was nothing about this team that said championship or winning or anything. It looked like the same exact Browns. And sorry to say that, hey, I mean, you can rip on my team all you want to. My Raiders, I don't care if we won. I still have my thoughts on this team. But I'm just very hard on my team. But as for Cleveland...
Right.
Yeah, as for Cleveland, though, I don't know what... Like, seriously, at this point, it's like, I know the Titans. Okay, I'm not going to slight the Titans. They're a good football team. They are a very good football team. They have proven to be a good football team. But honestly, they're just every bit of, like, I do believe that they're in the same class as the Browns. Up and coming, lots of great young players. They look good, man. But what happened? They just absolutely destroyed the Browns. At home? Well, on the road? I mean, seriously, the Browns were just pitiful. I don't know. Colin, give me your thoughts, man. 43-13. Titans beat the Browns on the road in week 1.
I mean, we know that Titans are a young team trying to, gel and grow. But, man, the hype around Cleveland has to be through the roof, man. But we expect them not just to blow out the Titans, we expect some spectacular plays, some great catches, great passing. But, man, the Titans defense stepped up, man. I mean, 5 sacks, 3 interceptions. And you held them to under 20 points. I mean, can't beat that, man. On the 1 touchdown, on the 2 touchdowns we scored, running back Hillard, and Njoku had a touchdown, you know what I mean? But outside of that, man, nothing really too phenomenal, man. People even questioning, is Baker Mayfield ready to handle the show up there in Cleveland, man? I mean, Derrick Henry, come on, man. This dude, man, he didn't, I mean, they was writing him off, man. They was writing him off, and now, I don't know what we're gonna do going forward, but everybody that's an Odell fan, y'all relax. Odell's gonna put on a show. Just relax. But Cleveland, I think that they have a little they have some work to do. Don't worry about the big name players, worry about the scheming.
Says the LSU fan. I love that. Well, with that said, glad to have him here aboard with us once again. He was a little bit late to the show, but we're glad to have him regardless. As I always say, he is the chief editor of the IE Sports Radio blog, formerly Mike's All Sports blog, and glad to have him aboard once again, writing for IE Sports Radio, and just being all over this show. As I always say, he should be hosting the show, not me, man. He's got the real deal, man. He's the all sports guy. Glad to have him here, and glad to have him here talking about some NFL football, recapping week 1 and getting ready for week 2. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in the one, the only, Mr. Mike Pat. What's going on, Mike?
Not much, Larry. Glad I could finally make it.
Hey, man. Glad to have you, brother. So first things first, extremely fast, quick and dirty recaps. Panthers and, Rams over Panthers.
Well, so the Panthers
played pretty well in this game, like I expected. I actually had them in the upset here, but I mean, the Rams, they're the real deal once again. They proved it. They reminded everybody that, the Super Bowl is, it's 8 months ago now, and now it's this new year, and they came to play. The Panthers played a great game, though. Got to give them some props, but the Rams just had a little bit more in the end.
They really did. All right, next up, should we be concerned for the Saints, or should we celebrate the Titans?
The Browns? You mean the Browns and the Titans?
I mean, I'm sorry. Texans and Saints.
I was going to say, we should not be concerned about the Saints at all, but I'm sure we'll get there in a second.
Oh, we already did, Mike. That's why I'm asking you.
You mean, so Saints-Texans?
Saints-Texans.
Saints-Texans. No, I wouldn't be concerned. The Texans are a really good team. They played a lot better than I thought they would, given the trades right before the season. But, they played New Orleans down to the wire. They would have won that game against many other teams. But, man, the mastery of Drew Brees, man, that final drive, just picking your way down the field, and then that field goal by Will Lutz. I mean, what do you do against that?
Absolutely insane, right? And you can't defend that boot, man. So, as Colin said, that golden boot. So, yeah, Bess. Okay, so next up, Titans-Browns. I mean, what in the hell happened to the Browns?
I don't know, but my thing about the Browns, I haven't been as vocal about this just because, the Browns really aren't my team, so, I don't, talk about them a ton. But I do not know how they have not traded for some more legit offensive linemen. Their offensive line was good last year. They played as a cohesive unit, but they got better play than you would have expected out of Greg Robinson, and they lost Kevin Zeitler in free agency while not really making a ton of upgrades here. And I think that showed a lot in this loss. Like you mentioned, the 5 sacks, and I'm sure the 3 picks, he was under duress for probably at least 1 or 2 of them. So, how Cleveland didn't upgrade their offensive line, but I'm sure they'll be fine. They just have some kinks to work out. And as for Tennessee, I mean, my goodness, way to come on in the second half. This game was actually close at halftime, but Tennessee just came roaring out. The defense started locking down, and their offense started making some plays. And Derrick Henry is a beast. He's a bad man.
He's as advertised, man, so definitely agree there. So we're all on the same page now. We're all back to normal. We are good. We got John back yet? No, we don't. So let's go ahead and get on over to Ravens and Dolphins. And, guys, this is going to be like a 10-second game. Are you ready? Poor Dolphins. That's about it. Colin, your thoughts?
Hollywood.
Like that, Colin? Yeah? That's how you feel?
Man, Ravens, man.
Okay, so unfortunately, Colin's in an extremely bad area, which really sucks. I'm so bummed that he's got to be on the road for this show today. Okay, we're back. Colin, we got you?
I'm back. Yeah, I'm back, man. I see the Hollywood show in Baltimore, and Mark Ingram leaves the bayou and goes up north and just rolls over the Dolphins with the Ravens, and then Lamar Jackson. How much can you ask from a running back? I mean, a wide receiver. I mean, an athlete. I forgot he's a quarterback. Man, Baltimore Ravens with a slacking of the Dolphins, man. I mean, hey, man, great game from the Ravens. That's all I can say. Dolphin who? Dolphin what?
Those poor Dolphins, man. That was a beatdown if I ever saw one. 59. My gosh, 59-10. I mean, they couldn't get anything going. It's like you knew automatically. Like, when it was 21-0, the first quarter, you already knew it wasn't going to go any other way. Like, the Dolphins looked lost. It was just bad. Mike, your thoughts, man?
There's only one thing that I have to say about this game, and pardon my language, IE Sports Radio team, but damn.
He said damn.
That's it. That's all you can say. Damn.
It was bad. It was every bit of bad. Like, seriously, there was no way to even... You can't say anything positive about this. Like, Josh Ritter, who, of course, we all know and love. Great guy here from My Sports Radio. But I'll tell you what. It was just... everything he said it would be. He's like, yeah, I knew this was going to be terrible. Like, he kind of knew the season was going to be terrible. I just didn't think it was going to be that terrible. Ravens are a decent team, but I think they made them look a lot better than what they are. Sorry, Ravens fans. But it is what it is. So, anyway, so with that said, we got John back yet? No, we don't. So, okay, let's go ahead and move it back over now to a game that I don't know what to say about this team now. Because at one point, last year I was all over them. I seriously was talking about how bad they got and just they had their chance, their window closed, and it did. Now, I'm not trying to say it reopened. I'm not. Trust me. But this actually wasn't a bad game. They played really well against a team who I have a lot of questions about now, because I don't know if it was just week one, but they didn't look very good at all, and that's the Falcons. So, the team I'm talking about, though, is the Minnesota Vikings. And talk about a football game, man. The Vikings looked very good very early. Like I said, I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, the Vikings are that team now, and this and that, because they're not. But I definitely feel that the Vikings, man, have a much better team than they did last year, and Cousins didn't play too bad. So, we got a 28-12 victory here over the Atlanta Falcons, and honestly, this didn't even, it was just sad. Like, the Falcons couldn't get anything going. So, Colin, start us off, man. Let us know your thoughts on this game. Minnesota, once again, 28-12 at home over the Falcons.
Hey, Larry, I don't know if you remember, but man, on last week's show, I was like, man, it's too early in the year for me to be teaming up with Jelani, and I picked the Falcons to win this game because outside of Delvin Cook, Diggs is not healthy. I'm not a big Cousins guy. I thought the Falcons were going to put a stamp on this, but man, Skull Nation, man, come on, let's rise up, man, because the Falcons rolls down, they fell down, and thank you to the Vikings, man. Falcons go 0-1. That's all I gotta say.
It was quite the game, because I once again, I had no idea the Vikings even had this in them right now. I really didn't. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, this was not an amazing. It was a very well-rounded game by Minnesota, but they only had 270 yards of total offense, so it wasn't like a complete and utter explosion for them. You know, Kirk Cousins only went 8 of 10, which is something you expect to see out of like a triple option offense in college, but not really in the pro ranks. But Minnesota's defense definitely came to play. They were all over Matt Ryan all game. I heard a lot of people talking about, the Falcons, offensive line being stout and solid, and Minnesota decided to say no. They're not, apparently. But yeah, no, just a great defensive effort, but I'm not necessarily as thrilled for Minnesota. I still have my reservations about them, minus Dalvin Cook, still a beast. Florida State, don't know. But I'm more come away with a concern about the Falcons and how they performed in this contest. It was more them just not looking, like you said, Larry, not looking good at all.
They didn't. The Falcons looked terrible. I mean, I seriously don't think I'm sorry to say this. I still don't think the Falcons are a better. I'm sorry, the Vikings are a better team than the Falcons. I just don't know what happened. So I know that was a victory for you guys. That was great. And I mean, nothing against the Vikings. They have gotten much better. And I feel that they are absolutely a much better team than they were last year. I'm not ready to hand them no playoffs or nothing just yet. But I will tell you right now, they definitely look better. Falcons, there are red flags everywhere. Fix it, because you guys look terrible. So, with that said, let's move it on over now to the next game. And this was interesting. Actually, we got to go a little bit faster now, guys, because we got to get to our picks as well. But Bills and Jets. I mean, what happened? For real, like, the Jets looked like they were unmotivated. Like they were doing so well for such a long time, and then like towards the end of the game, they just like stopped. Like it's like they just took their foot off the gas in that fourth quarter. They didn't look anything like they did in those first 3 quarters, and the Bills like made them pay, man. 2 touchdowns, and well, it was basically just they looked gassed. Like they spent too much. Like they just looked. I don't know. They fell off in the fourth, and the Bills. Way to get it going in the fourth quarter, guys. Can't say that about this team. 2 touchdowns, and the one with 3 minutes to go at the very end. Josh Allen to Josh Brown. Hey, I like it. Good stuff here from the Bills. They get it done 1-0, and they get it on the road in New Jersey over the Jets. So, all right, Mike, this time you started off this week, man. What do you think about this game?
Well, so I picked the Jets to win this in our picks league, and I was feeling great about that through 3 quarters, and then I stopped following the game, and I look it up, and the Bills have won, and I was like, what in the world just happened? Yeah, you're right. The Jets just completely fell off in the fourth quarter. There's lots of rumors swirling now about the Jets about, maybe the weapons on offense weren't quite doing their jobs right, which when you look at the numbers, Le'Veon Bell and Jamison Crowder accounted for about 90% of the offensive yards gained, so that might not be too inaccurate. It was a really good game by those two, and Darnold, it was okay. But overall, just the Jets, like the fourth quarter collapse, like you said, and the Bills just took advantage of it. I mean, that's just plain and simple what happened here.
Yeah, it was anything but good for those Bills. I mean, for the Jets, I'll tell you that. Colin, what do you think, man?
Hey man, I'm really excited and interested for the football overall because of Sam Darnold and Josh Allen, man, two young quarterbacks with great potential coming up in this league, man. That's what we need. I mean, I love skill players, but when they quarterback, you can have poise, you can have the IQ, and these two guys I think have it. I mean, on the New York side, I was disappointed because of Le'Veon Bell. I was talking about him last week with you guys. I was telling you how he wanted to prove people wrong, and he just wanted to show his fans that he still had that dominant play. I didn't really see too much explosiveness from the highlights that I watched, but I mean, the Bills got the win. It's always on the road. You go get on the road to get a win victory. It's always great, but these two young teams is just trying to find their way. Just keep watching.
They really are, and I want to see more from both these teams. That second backship is going to be really good, and you know what? The Bills may collapse in the fourth quarter, but I still think they're a very good football team, and they've just got to continue to build.
And you know what, Larry? I will give credit to one thing for the Bills. Their defense played a tremendous game. Really only held the Jets to 9 points because one of the Jets' touchdowns was a pick six. So major props for that. It was a great performance overcoming the fact that their quarterback, while young and dynamic, did account for 4 turnovers in the game. But, major props to the defense for holding that game in check.
Absolutely, man. I really like that. And by the way, Ed Oliver's a beast. Just saying. You saw him in college and you see him in the NFL.
Yeah, he is.
He's a beast, man. So, anyway, young man out of Houston getting first-round pick, man. Great player. So, next up, all right, y'all, here we go. It's time to get on into Mike Pat territory because this was a game that oh my gosh, I was all over this game, and for 2 quarters, I was looking absolutely like a genius, and I looked like an idiot afterwards. But honestly, this Redskins team has so much potential. It is ridiculous. They looked so good. And then the Eagles just happened in the second half. That's basically what happened. I mean, the Eagles, just Deshaun Jackson awoke, and they completely went off. So, really good game here. So close yet so far for the Redskins, but my gosh, I can't give enough credit to the Eagles for coming back and for really making this thing happen. They have so many scores in this game. Look at this, 3 touchdowns in the second half from the Eagles, and even though there was one late from the Redskins, okay, with 6 seconds to go here, once again, according to the ESPN Source Center app, I'm getting my sources from, it was just too little too late, and the Eagles, it was a tale of 2 halves is really all this was. Mike, start us off, man. Your team losing to the Eagles. And there's Mike. There's Mike's discussion right there.
The only reason why I am even remotely okay with this result is because it helped me in our picks league. That's the only reason. We were doing so well to start the game, and I was so excited for Terry McLaurin, the rookie, the 3rd rounder, coming out and having a 100-yard game, and Chris Thompson playing well. Vernon Davis had that beast of a play where he bowled over 3 Eagles defenders down the sideline and scored a touchdown. But I will give Philadelphia credit. Their offensive line neutralized a very good defensive front. Ryan Kerrigan had no sacks, which I know is a surprise to you, Larry. Yeah, no sacks. Although he did get to the quarterback twice, but 1 sack overall, only 4 quarterback hits. So the Eagles' offensive line did a good job. The offense, like you said, turned it on late. And I just got to end with one thing. If you are going to make Adrian Peterson one of the greatest running backs of all time, if you are going to make him a healthy scratch on game day, You cannot have 13 carries for 28 yards rushing. You cannot do that and have Adrian Peterson just sitting on the bench. I'm disgusted.
Well said. Well said. Colin, your thoughts?
Well, man, this is a game here, a phenomenal comeback for Deshaun Jackson starting off. But the Eagles, they have weapons. Ertz, Deshaun Jackson, Alshon Jeffrey, and Lynch is he looked like he was in great form. Man, if Jordan Howard, someone can just break out the pack with his running game, that Eagles offense can look real scary, and they may fly high up there in Philly. With the Washington Redskins, man, I'm so sorry about Darius Geis, man. Hopefully, man, that he can get right, man, and have a promising career for everybody in the body still cheering for him, man. But I did pick up AP in the fantasy. I believe that AP is going to have another chip on his shoulder because if you don't remember, after he left the Saints, he said, well, he wasn't done, and he showed us he was not done. Now, after that healthy scratch, like Mike said, he want to show people, man, you scratched me, I got that, that's fine, but I'm not done. Now you need me because Chris Thompson's only positive in the catching the ball out the backfield. He's not a great runner, and I think AP's going to show the world once again that he's not done, and he's going to give me some points in my fantasy. So hey, Mike, I'll be cheering for AP, not the Redskins, but AP week to week.
Hey, I like it. By the way, y'all, we have John back. Where's an applause button? Welcome back, John. Thank you. Thank you so much, John.
Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh, John's computer is like at war with John right now. It's hilarious. Like
But literally, it died and then did a software update upon restarting.
I think that's really funny. I'm sorry, but anyway, all right, John. Here we go. You know the drill, man. Whenever we miss.
Yeah.
Hey, 10 seconds, man. Let's go down the list. Here we go. Ravens, Dolphins.
Ravens, Dolphins, I feel like the Ravens looked incredibly impressive. Lamar Jackson looks like he's going to be promising this year.
Vikings, Falcons.
Vikings, Falcons, I did, I thought that was a good game. I didn't catch much of it, but I'm glad the Falcons lost.
Bills, Jets.
Bills, Jets, another quarterback that's heading into a make-or-break year. Sam Darnold did not look fantastic. I didn't really like what I saw out of him. And then it was Josh Allen versus Sam Darnold. Both looked underwhelming.
They really did. And then, of course, we have we just talked about it. Eagles, Redskins.
Eagles, Redskins. Like Mike and Kylan were talking about it. It was a curious decision to not just bench Adrian Peterson, but render him inactive. I don't see what the strategy was of that, especially when you have 10 carries from Darius Geis and then 3 for Chris Thompson. I didn't understand what they were going for there, but I can see what kind of offense they're going for. Case Keenum threw 44 throws that game. So, we'll have to wait and see, but they definitely need a running game, the Redskins.
They definitely do. So, okay, let's go ahead and move on. Let's just continue at a fast pace, y'all, because we got picks as well. But first up, going through here we go. We have here Chiefs and Jaguars. First things first, Chiefs looked like the Chiefs, but the Jaguars, 26 points. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. I'm serious. That was... wow. I'm kind of at awe. Mike, what's your thoughts? Uh-oh. Are you muted, Mike? And it looks like Mike is muted. He is. Okay. Well, let's move it on over to John before we get Mike back. John, give us your thoughts, man.
Yeah. Patrick Mahomes, he started off just like the way he ended off last season. So he showed it wasn't a fluke. I'm kind of impressed with what the Chiefs offense has been able to do these last couple of years with Mahomes at the helm. But, oh, man, bad break for Nick Foles for the Jaguars. Finally, when they looked like they had some light, another quarterback goes down. So I really hope they can figure that quarterback situation out.
I think so. Kylan, what are your thoughts of this game, man?
I'm sorry, Larry. What game we on?
Gotta stay in the game, brother. Chiefs and Jaguars.
Well, I picked the upset with this one. And I thought that, Nick Foles was going to do something good. But with that being said, man, Chiefs, Mahomes, man, Tyreek Hill get well soon, sir. But Chiefs is a phenomenal team, man, and I don't know what I was thinking, man. I must have done some ooh-wee or something, but hey, great game for the Chiefs, and keep on pushing. But Jaguars, I wish they could go ahead and sign Colin Kaepernick, but, hey, sorry.
Seriously,
for real, right? All right, Mike, we got you back.
Yeah, you do. Sorry, I had a phone call.
You're good.
Yeah. But yeah, man. So, yeah, no, obviously we knew the Chiefs were going to come out and score in the bunches, and they did. They did exactly that. But, man, Nick Foles, like we all said, tough break, but give Gardner Minshew some credit, man.
Yes.
25 for 275 and 2 touchdowns. As a rookie, when you're not even expected to play, it's like, oh, here we go. And, so I got to give him some credit for coming in the spotlight and actually making the score look more competitive than the game actually was, because this was pretty lopsided. And also, LaShawn McCoy coming out after being released by the Bills and getting 90 yards on 11 total touches. That's, hey, you're going to cut me. All right, I'm going to go to another team and do well. So, hey, there you go.
Hey, man, for real. And I just want to say, Gardner Minshew is a beast, dude. Doing all what he did in the Pac-12, he looked great at Wazoo, and what a job, man. I had hit the applause button for him a little bit ago, because he is absolutely as advertised. So glad that he's balling out and doing his thing, man. Great athlete he is. Next up, Chargers, Bolts. We have the Colts and the Bolts, and this game was a head scratcher. The Chargers, this team, you'd expect everything out of them. This last year, they looked like a team that was, I really thought that this year could be like Super Bowl for them. And it's not like it still can't. Unfortunately, they had a terrible loss. Hunter Henry is out for the season, broke his leg, really sucks. But prayers up for Hunter Henry, man. Hopefully, get well soon, get back to football soon, brother. But bummed out for that. But regardless, man, these Colts, on a lighter note, though, I mean, I thought for sure the Chargers would destroy this team, but it was nothing like that. Jacoby Brissett looked good. We knew Philip Rivers was going to get his numbers. But still, Jacoby Brissett coming on over from the Patriots, last year or 2 years ago, I forgot when it was. Oh, it was 2 years ago. But still, looked great, man. The guy went 21 for 27 with 190 yards, 2 touchdowns. Absolutely great job. Mack went off as well, man. 174 yards, 1 touchdown, looked pretty darn good. And how about T.Y. Hilton, man? And 8 receptions, 98 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not a bad job. Of course, the guy who stole the show, now that, Gordon's not there, and I thought he had so many more yards, but I guess he didn't. But Eckler is a damn machine, okay? This guy, I can't believe what I'm seeing. Only 58 yards on 12 carries and 1 touchdown. But regardless, he looked extremely good. He went off. He won the game, of course. They won in overtime. They got down the field and scored. The overtime rule, if you score first, if it's a touchdown, game's over, and that's it. So, yeah, Chargers look good at the end, but I think there's some kind of concern early. You should have won that game. This should honestly been, sorry Colts fans, but that should have been looking like, okay, I don't want to be mean, but maybe not Ravens Dolphins, but it definitely should have been Giants Cowboys. I really think that it should have been at least a 2 touchdown, maybe 3, around there. But hey, not bad for the Colts. Like, it shows you they're a fighting team, and for the Bolts, well, victory 30-24 in overtime. But anyway, so start us off, Mike. What you think, man?
I mean, you summarized it all, Eric. I mean, this was a surprisingly close game. I don't think most people expected the Colts to be as competitive with Brissett at the helm in the first week. But they fought. They clawed their way back from being down pretty decent amount, double digits for a good chunk of the game. And, give them props for fighting, but the Chargers just had a little bit too much. But it was a lot closer than I think a lot of people expected.
It really was, man. John, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, this was a close game, but I think both teams looked like they were clearly missing a component of their offense. I mean, the Colts relied heavily on that running game. Marlon back 25 carries for 174 yards and a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett did well, but he was more efficient than he was productive. And then the Chargers, without Melvin Gordon, did the opposite. Didn't run the ball much at all. I mean, with Philip Rivers, they'll sometimes throw it 40 times a game, but you can tell an element was missing. It's going to be interesting to see how both teams' season plays out, but I definitely have more hope in the Chargers than I do the Colts.
Yeah, I think it's just like that week 1 crap, but still, that was concerning for me. I really thought the Chargers were going to blow the lid off quick, but, Anyway, another team who surprised the crap out of me was actually the Bengals. This team, how? How? You're not. Yeah, I mean, they didn't look very good at all for the last couple of years. They're the hit or miss team. Now they're completely written off by pretty much almost everybody. It's supposed to be the weakling in the AFC North. And what is this, guys? Is this the Bengals getting better, or dare I say the Seahawks getting worse? The Seahawks didn't look impressive at all. There was nothing that I can seriously say the Seahawks looked great about. Russell Wilson looked great. But who else? DK Metcalf looked, like a rookie. I mean, once again, rookies come out and do the dang thing, but, he was okay. And Carson, well, he was okay. But honestly, how about Andy Dalton, man? 35 for 51. No, it's not the best percent-wise, but still, 418 yards, 2 touchdowns. You know what? He looked pretty okay. Ross, the fastest 40, debatably, ever ran on the 40. Well, guess what, man? He went back home to Washington. I don't know if he's from there, but he definitely plays college ball there. 158 yards, 2 touchdowns on 7 receptions. 7 receptions? That's how fast this guy really is, man. Like, he showed off his speed. However, the Seahawks pulled this one off, 21-20 in this game. But still, it was just something that, I don't know, the Seahawks did not. There was something wrong. So, let's start things off. Kyler, man, give us your thoughts on this game. And I don't know.
Well, without AJ Green, Ross stepped up big. I was kind of shocked Eifert wasn't targeted more here because he's the safe haven, but he's getting a little older, injuries catching up with him. But Jadeveon Clowney, sack fumble, that was a big play for this game.
Oh, we lose Kylam? Okay, so while we get Kylam back, let's go ahead and move on over to Mike. What's your thoughts, man?
Well, so I wrote about in the latest blog.
All night for him, with only 46. All night for Carson, but Carson will be good. And Russell Wilson, he's got to find a way to make plays. You don't have a lot of big name talent, but he has athletes, so he has to make some plays. He has extensive play with his legs, and he uses expertise in his experience and to his advantage.
Okay, good stuff there, and thanks for jumping back in, Kylam. Sorry about that, Mike. Cut you off. No, it's just tough, guys. Sorry, but once again, I apologize to the listeners. Kylam's driving right now, so it's just going to be kind of tough he's going to be going in and out, which sucks, but hey, it is what it is. So, Mike, jump on it, man. What were you saying?
So I wrote about in the latest entry for the iSports Radio blog. Go check it out, iSportsRadioblog.wordpress.com. There you go. There's our little drop for that.
Yeah.
That John Ross was going to be one of the keys for the Bengals this year, and he certainly showed up in a big way week 1. But yeah, the Bengals, they could have very easily won this game. You look at the numbers, and they were dominant pretty much across the board, except in one category. It's the category that shoots teams in the foot all the time, and that's the turnover category. 3 fumbles lost, 2 by Andy Dalton, overshadowing a game where he had 418 passing yards and 2 touchdowns. But the Seahawks are not going to be able to get away with a game like this every week. They're definitely going to need to figure some stuff out, get the running game going somehow, figure out ways to get Russell Wilson in better positions to make some plays. But like Kylam said, great start for DK Metcalf, coming out with almost 100 yards.
That was something, wasn't it? John, give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, the Bengals played an un-Bengal-like game. They completely abandoned the run game, and Andy Dalton threw for a career-high 418 yards. I'd like to see them do a little bit more of this, except for with more of a balanced run game, see what they can do. Because they definitely produce on offense in a way that I'm not used to seeing the Bengals produce on offense.
I completely agree, man. That was a different story, I'll tell you. Just kind of a weird game. But Seahawks pull this thing off, find a way to win it. So anyway, guys, we got to go hyper speed, man, because we only got like 15 minutes left. We got to make our picks, too. So anyway, with that said, Cowboys over the Giants. This was just typical. Giants look like, well, Giants. And the Cowboys, well, they look like the Cowboys. I really have nothing else to say. Cowboys win this one 35 to 17. I mean, we could go in depth with this, but once again, time is just kind of always rough, trying to get within this 3 hours. But certainly a tough go for the Giants. They did not look anything like anything improved. That's all I got to say. So start us off, Mike. What do you think, man?
Well, major props to Dak Prescott. He's certainly trying to make an argument to get a big contract before the season's up, passing for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. But the Giants just look completely overwhelmed. Eli Manning looked overwhelmed, much as he has the last couple of years. And I also don't understand how you only give Saquon Barkley 11 carries.
Kind of stupid, right?
Like Zeke only had 13 carries, Ezekiel Elliott, but they balanced it out by giving Tony Pollard, the rookie, a few carries. But Zeke proved that he was better. But yeah, 11 carries for Saquon Barkley. That's confusing.
That's crap. So, John, what you got, man?
Yeah, I think confusing is the right word for the Giants. I mean, almost every decision that they've made over the last year and a half or so, I just don't understand. Well, we saw a little bit of Daniel Jones, and hopefully he can pan out, because Eli Manning's days, I think, are numbered as a Giant. And I think they'd be best for getting younger and really centering their offense around Saquon Barkley.
I agree with that. So, Colin, finish this off, man. What do you think about this game?
Week for the Giants, man. Saquon Barkley, it's something you have to watch. You have to zone in on this, because 11 carries was 20. One carry was 59 yards. So outside of that big carry, nothing really phenomenal to even talk about. And I agree with you, John, totally. Eli's days are numbered as a starting quarterback in this league. And, 400 yards from Prescott. You're playing for a contract that sometimes that can put pressure on you and make some mistakes. But start the season, 405 yards, 4 touchdowns, no sacks, no interceptions. And can't say nothing bad about that.
It was just absolutely, but those Giants, yeah. Well, I think Daniel Jones is ready to go, man. So, all right. So next up, we have here, and this is interesting. Lions and Cardinals, we have a tie. I mean, seriously, it wouldn't be more fitting, right, for a team that is just trying their best to make some kind of a splash. I'm a huge Matt Patricia fan. I really have high hopes for him to make this thing happen in Detroit, but yet another type of slow start, and I think everyone is more surprised with the Cardinals than any team this week. I'm so serious. This game ends in a 27-27 tie. There's nothing more to add. This is weird, but it is what it is. Colin, start us off.
Well, you know how I feel about Matt Patricia. Coming out of a great system. I'm looking for Detroit to start stopping people. Like cutting the points down to maybe about 21 points, at the most. He's going to bring a defensive mind frame. But, man, Kyler Murray, man, what can we say, man? The rookie, he did get sacked 5 times with 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't rattled as much as I thought he would be. And, even though it ended with a tie, you're going to get Matt Stafford, one of the better quarterbacks in the league, number-wise. And I feel that even though Patricia's a defensive quarterback, he has to trust his running game. I know it's by committee, but going to the future for that system to start working, Orion Johnson has to be the key.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that makes tons of sense. All right, John, what you got for us?
Yeah, this could have been an epic comeback story, for Kyler Murray in his first game. At the half, it was 17-3, and they weren't getting much going at all. He looked horrible throughout the entire game, but it could have been a good feel-good story for him, coming out with a W at least, even if he didn't look consistent. Yeah, I feel like it's going to be interesting to see how he develops, how Kyler Murray can play throughout the season. And I'm very interested also, like Kylan was talking about, to see how that Lions running back by committee is going to work out. I think Kerryon Johnson needs a more prominent role in that offense for it to succeed.
Completely agree. And Mike, what you got for us, man?
Well, Kyler Murray played an up-and-down game, and for Arizona, you got to give a lot of credit to David Johnson and Larry Fitzgerald, the two, basically veterans of this offense. Well, definitely Larry Fitzgerald, but David Johnson basically is one as well at this point. For helping, the rookie as much as he wants. You can't have a rookie in their very first game passing the ball for 54 times. That's just not a recipe for success. And as for Detroit, big props to another rookie, another top 10 pick, TJ Hawkinson, had a great game. But my ultimate takeaway is that it's appropriate to me that, two franchises with long and arduous NFL histories, both teams that have reasons to be excited. One's got an exciting rookie quarterback, the other has some exciting young talent, and in the first game of the season, they tied. So nobody moves one way forward either way. I just feel like there's some poetic justice happening there with that.
You know what? Great way to put it. I mean, seriously. This was just an odd game. It was just odd. There's really no other way to explain it. It was an odd game. So, okay. Buccaneers fall to the 49ers, 31-17. Talk about the Bucs playing decent. I mean, it wasn't all that great. But once again, neither are the Bucs. It was just a game that I was watching, but then again I wasn't, because it just didn't, there was nothing I don't know, it seemed like it was just, the Buccaneers just didn't look anything different from last year. And the Niners, well, they looked better, but once again, when you're playing against a team that, isn't at the moment up there, it's kind of hard to think, well, is it because that team is bad, or is it because you guys are good? So I don't know. It was kind of an odd game, but sorry Bucs fans, but I just gotta say, man, the Bucs, I mean, they looked a little bit better, but the Niners, once again, what is everybody's thoughts? I gotta know this. This is a tough one, man. Very, very kind of one of those games. So 49ers win this one, 31-17. Let's start this thing off with Mike. What you got for us?
Well, this was another kind of weird one. The Bucs looked okay, especially on defense. I think the score is not as reflective of how they actually looked a little bit better on defense. They held the Niners mostly in check. I gotta look this one up, because this has got to be the most pick sixes, I think, in a game in NFL history, because the two teams combined for three interceptions returned for touchdowns, which is more. They had more interceptions returned for touchdowns than offensive touchdowns scored in this game. So that's kind of how weird this one was. But give credit to San Francisco; they were opportunistic, and they took the most of Tampa's weakness, which apparently turns out to be their quarterback.
Isn't that something, John? Give us your thoughts.
No, I agree. I feel like it was a weird game, and Jameis Winston's play was predictably bad. And I definitely think this is the season where they're going to have to, cut ties with Jameis Winston. I mean, he has all the upside in the world, but I don't know that they're able to sustain any kind of a hope of a winning season with him at the quarterback.
Yeah, he just doesn't look very good. So, Colin, your thoughts? Oh, did we lose Colin again? Alrighty, well, we'll just go ahead and move it right on here. So, like I said, guys, we gotta get through these last couple games real quick here. So, alright, first things first. We're going to go ahead and get on into Sunday Night Football first, then on to Thursday Night Football, because Thursday is the real deal. That was such a great game. So let's go ahead and just talk about this real fast. With the soap opera that is AB right now going on with all this craziness, honestly, guys, there's nothing more to say than Patriots. I thought they did a really stupid thing letting go of Demaryius Thomas. I thought that was really, really dumb. But it is what it is. But regardless, they looked very good. They absolutely destroyed the Steelers. Steelers looked like a JV team taking on a varsity team. Like, it was just bad. Like, these guys didn't look very good at all. Nothing to celebrate. The Steelers just look as bad as I haven't seen them in years. I don't think I've ever seen a Steelers team this bad. Once again, it is the Patriots, but still, the Patriots are just... The team is probably going to do it again this year. I'm looking at all that talent. Now you add Brown. Depending on what happens with him and his personal life, I have nothing to get into there, of course. Not about controversy here at iSports Radio, but I'll tell you right now, the Patriots looked completely dominant, completely unstoppable, and I don't know who's going to beat them this year. Seriously, I don't know. They look stacked. So 33-3, Patriots win this thing at home and just destroy the Steelers. So John, start us off, man.
Wait, getting rid of 2 offensive centerpieces makes your offense worse? What? No, I feel like, the Steelers had it coming. And, James Conner, all respect to him, but he's no Le'Veon Bell, and there's no replacing Antonio Brown as well. For all the off-the-field problems and all the dynamics of the team, they made their offense better. Those 2 players, and they made each other better. They were better than the sum of their parts. So, I think they're in rebuilding mode now. I think the Steelers are unless they can kind of salvage something out of this offense. Juju Smith-Schuster is a stud, but I think he's more of a compliment than anything else. I think they're in rebuilding mode.
That's a great way to put it, Mike.
Well, it was just an utter beatdown by the Patriots. There's no other way to put it. This is a team that had a very quiet offseason compared to the Steelers, and then all of a sudden they were like, oh, hey, splash, we're getting Antonio Brown. Pittsburgh is looking better and better basically every day in the Antonio Brown situation, but that doesn't translate to on-the-field success. They need to figure out what they're doing, and they need to figure it out fast, because the team that played Sunday night is not going to win very many games in 2019.
I completely agree with that. They didn't look good at all. Colin, got you back?
Yeah, man. Patriots, man. The system, players playing to the system, and all I can say, like I said, was shellacking by the Patriots. All I can say about this game, what brought to my attention, came to my mind, Ben Roethlisberger still does not want them to draft a quarterback. And tell me why. I just don't understand that philosophy. John, great points. You lost 2 dynamic players, and you expect to contend. That's not going to happen. Real far-fetched. But come on, man. You turned the corner, Big Ben. You should have been better. Tell him, look, man, I'm running out of gas in my tank, but still is going to be a real long season up in Pittsburgh. That's all I can say.
It looked terrible. They looked like crap. A lot of teams this week just came out and looked like crap. Seriously, it was just bad. It is what it is. But okay, so let's go ahead and jump on over now to that Thursday night football game, because that was such a good football game. Some people were like, oh, whatever. I'm like, man, Super Bowl 53 was a great game because it was defense, and so was this. I loved this game. It was amazing. Packers find a way to win it. Yet another team should we be concerned about. 10-3. Khalil Mack. Where is he? But you know who I did see? Aaron Rodgers. And he did enough to help his team get this thing done. They came together as a team. He rallied the troops. And what a job by this really good Green Bay Packers team. Seriously, what more could you say? Start us off, John. What you think about this game, man?
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers reminded us why he's one of the premier quarterbacks in this league. He had command during that final drive. It wasn't his best game, but during that final drive, he had the poise, he had the command, and he was able to drive the ball down the field in a way that Mitch Trubisky didn't have. He may have had slightly better statistics, although he threw the ball much more. He just didn't have the same poise that Aaron Rodgers had, and I feel like I maybe overestimated him a little bit. I think he has a ways to go into developing into a franchise quarterback.
I completely agree. All right, what you got for us, Colin?
I figured this game would be a low-scoring game. The Bears defense, number one, arguably the best defense in the league. But you play Aaron Rodgers, I say, well, maybe he threw a few punches. But Mitchell couldn't do anything. And the run game was, where was it? You trade away Jordan Howard or let him go however, and where was it? In that type of game, you had to at least play trenches, and no running game showed up, no Chicago offense showed up. still probably only allowed 10 points, but he didn't put any touchdowns on the board. And like we say all the time, man, Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest talents we've ever seen in our lifetime, and he got his team to victory, and that all that matters. But these are two defenses, yes. Aaron Rodgers said it, and now I'm saying it. This is a defense to watch, and if the Packers can get in a roll on offense with a solid defense, man, we can turn the table back about 8-9 years, and they'll be in the running. It'd be dangerous.
No, I completely agree with you there, man. Mike, what you got for us, man?
Well, I think it would be an interesting little switchover for most fans to see Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers at the helm become a defense-oriented team. Not that I'm saying that's going to happen, but if things keep going the way they were going last Thursday night, that could very well be the case. And also major props to Adrian Amos, safety of the Packers, for getting a pick against his former team. But my takeaway from the game was this, and I kind of share this with Colin Cowherd, but the Bears are in trouble. And the reason the Bears are in trouble, even though it's only been one game, is because Mitch Trubisky is in year 3. And the game he had last Thursday was not good. And to make the problems worse, the two quarterbacks drafted immediately after him, Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson, are 2 of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. So the Bears are in a very serious situation now where if they cannot get things going with Trubisky at the helm, they're going to have some major decisions to make next offseason.
Which is really sad because after the year they had last year, I mean, to think they'd have, so much dominance. I know it's just the first game. We're not going to jump all over them. They can come out and be the same team they were last year, but week 1 was a tough go for so many teams. So many question marks. Why it was so exciting.
Larry, did you hear about the Packers defensive back? That was like the number one thing in our game plan to stop the Bears was to make Mitch Trubisky play quarterback.
That's messed up, but it's true. I mean, it's so true. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. I mean, they made him play quarterback, and well, we saw how that worked out. So, anyway, with that said, on to the last Monday night game of the week. I know we jumped around a little bit, but I wanted to get Colin early, of course, and I actually skipped Thursday Night Football, but it was kind of nice to save that one to almost last, because, I mean, the historic game it was, the historic rivalry, NFL's 100th season, all the good stuff. So, anyway, last but not least, the Oakland Raiders, 24-16 victory over the Denver Broncos. Gentlemen, I'm going last. Mike, start us off.
You gotta give Oakland credit for overcoming all of the drama that they had in the 2 weeks leading up to the season. Josh Jacobs, the rookie running back, looked really good, got 2 touchdowns. Tyrell Williams, Darren Waller, Derek Carr, the whole offense contributed. The defense shut them down. It was a nice all-around performance for them. And like I said, you got to give them credit for overcoming the drama that was the Antonio Brown situation.
I do, but you'll see. John, what you got?
Honestly, I'm not a fan of Josh Jacobs. Don't like him. You made me lose my fantasy game by 1 point. I thought I had that in the bag, and then this game happens. It's like 24 points. But in all honesty, I mean, the Raiders, props to them, because all they've had is distractions. First off, they're on Hard Knocks, and it's becoming a cultural phenomenon that, like, even on new episodes of Hard Knocks, there's fans referencing old episodes of Hard Knocks, like the salmon thing. I mean, their entire offseason was a distraction. That with the whole, A/B debacle. That's a really good start to the season for a team that's had so many distractions.
I completely agree with that for sure. Colin, your thoughts?
Well, yeah, I'm rather piggyback with everyone with the Raiders winning after the distractions, but something stood out to me in this game, and I know, Larry, you probably will enjoy this. No sacks on.
Thank you. Good job, Colin.
I know you love that because the offensive line did a phenomenal job, and I mean, the Broncos, we just knew Von Miller was going to get there, but I'm like, they were talking about 98 sacks or whatever before the game. Like, yeah, he about to go to 100, blah, 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 blah. And then this offensive line stands tall 4 quarters. And I'm like, Larry talking about this Oakland Raiders team, it has problems. I'm like, this Oakland Raiders team has potential.
Stop it, Colin. Okay. I love it. Great. Thank you so much for all the wonderful, beautiful, lovely things you have said about this team. I'm not going to destroy it totally, but I'm gonna give you some quick hits real fast. Yeah. Excuse me, Mr. Farrell. We drafted you for a reason, brother. I don't know where you were. I don't know where you were, but I didn't see nothing. I didn't see no sacks.
He got a sack, Larry. Give him some credit.
He got one. He got one. Arden Key.
Hey, you get one a game. That's 16. Just saying.
I mean, I'm just saying though. We need that. That Khalil Mack presence. I know he didn't do anything in his game either, but still, I mean, hello, Arden Key. I know you're starting to become a what we call a real pro, Arden Key. Where you at? Where you at, dude? I mean, I want to know. I don't know where you guys are. D-line, where are you? I want to know. We gonna send the search party out for y'all? Because I didn't see anything. And that Broncos offensive line is not that good, guys. So, that was concerning. Linebackers, do you guys want to play? Do y'all want to do something? Vontaze Burfict, you were Mr. Big Bad. You were Mr. Get Bad all over the place. And now what? You ain't Mr. Get Bad now for the Raiders? What? That's not you no more? No? You're gonna switch it over to being a nice guy? Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. Tahir Whitehead, where were you? Were you even playing? Like, were you even on the field? Like, for real. First thing first, I gotta say, thank God. Okay, thank God. Garyon Conley's okay. That was a scary moment, but I'm so glad. So thank you, Lord, that he's okay. That was scary. Abrams, you know what, dude? You're a tough hitter. I like what you bring to the table. I saw some stuff earlier about him may not being able to play for some weird reason. I have no idea. I haven't even checked that yet because I'm just, I was getting everything ready for the show. I'm busy dude, just getting all kinds of stuff ready. But regardless, secondary, you played a lot better than I thought you were. It was literally flipped. I was like, oh no, our secondary is going to be terrible as always. Front seven is going to do pretty good. It was exactly the opposite. Front seven looked like trash. For at least for the first half we looked good. Second half, I don't know what happened. We started just letting off the gas, which is typical of the Raiders. But the secondary, I give y'all an applause, y'all. Y'all look good. I'm very, 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 very excited. Marcus Joyner, I really, really love this secondary right now. So much better than I thought they were going to be, and I can work with these guys. Front seven. What are y'all watching the damn Giants film from last year trying to be like them? I mean, I don't get it. And then offense, not bad. I can't say anything bad about the offense too much. You were absolutely right, gentlemen. That offensive line played lights out. They look so good. I love this right now. And by the way, big shout out to Morrow. I forgot about him, man. He looked really good at linebacker too. But actually, he looked better than the other two. But I'll tell you what, Derek Carr, you look good, man. Josh Jacobs, you're a beast. I'm so glad you're on this team, man. You're the spark we needed. And as for our receivers, you know what, man? Everyone made an impact, and we didn't make any type of nothing. Didn't even bat an eye at that whole AB situation. So I'm very proud of that. Regardless, we were supposed to win that game. So on to the next. We were supposed to win. You were supposed to win, Oakland. You're supposed to win that game. You're supposed to win. The game's supposed to win. So, good job. Is it a big victory? No, because it should have been by a lot more. Denver's not that good. Regardless, it's a victory, and I'll take it. So, not bad, Raiders. You know what? Okay. We're making progress. I like it. I'm still not, sitting here getting ready to give them an AFC championship or anything, but you know what? That's a step in the right direction. Front seven, get it together. That's all I got to say. These guys got to get it together. So, all right. Well, we got an echo. We're echoing. We got a little echo going. Okay. Anyway. Okay. So with that said, we just wasted so much time there. It's okay though. My fault. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into our picks in 10 minutes, quick and dirty, and roll through it. I mean, oh my gosh, we are so behind. We got to get a better skeleton for this. I know it's tough, but it's just so hard to do this thing in 3 hours. So okay. With that said, quick and dirty picks, and we're probably going to have to jump right into the primetime, man, and not make any commercial breaks. So, with that said, here we go, y'all. Quick and dirty picks. Let's get it. All right, so, first and foremost, week number 2. courtesy of the ESPN Score Center app. Let's go ahead and jump right in to those picks. So once again, quick and dirty, fire away, gentlemen. Week number 2, here we go. So we're going to jump into later on the primetime games, of course. But as of right now, we're going to jump into the other week 2 games. So start us off here. We're going to start with the 10 a.m., 1 p.m. games, and we have here Chargers taking on. Oh, this should be a very good game. Oh, sorry. 49ers and Bengals. Who are you picking and why? Let's go in this order. Mike, John, Kyler. Mike, start us off.
I'm going to go with the Bengals in this one. I think they showed some promise last week, and I think home game against San Francisco. San Francisco's good, not great, so I think this is their opportunity to get their first win.
I like it. John?
Yeah, I agree. I think if the Bengals can get a run game going, maybe get Joe Mixon more integrated in the offense, they have a good shot.
Okay, and Colin?
Bengals. I think John Ross has another big game.
If you don't have any fantasy, y'all, pick him, because the men here of 3 and out are saying to go with him, and I certainly agree. I'm taking the Bengals at home. They almost beat the dang Seahawks. They look good. The Niners, I haven't seen anything yet. It's the Buccaneers. You beat the Buccaneers. It's not saying much. It's like beating the Raiders. So, anyway, next up, Chargers and Lions. Who do we got? This is actually been a pretty good football game. I like this game here. All right, Mike, start us off.
I'm going to go with the Chargers on the road in this one. Nothing against Detroit. I just think that offense, even without Melvin Gordon, still just has too many weapons. And Detroit, they need to find their run game to start winning consistently.
Absolutely. Okay, I like that one. John?
Yeah, I like the Chargers with this one.
Quick and dirty. Colin, what you got?
Hey, Chargers all the way, man. Too much firepower.
I agree. They're too good. The Lions, I'm cheering for them this season. I want them to win it. As Mike said earlier, T.J. Hawkinson had a great first week. I have a lot of hope in him to be great, the young man out of Iowa, but I just don't see this team. The Chargers are irritated with last week, and they're going to go unleash on the Lions. I think it should be a close game, but I got the Chargers for sure. Next up, Vikings-Packers. Vikings, this team, what? Looking better, or was it just the first game jitters for the Falcons? And Packers, y'all just beat the Bears in a really low-scoring defensive game. That defense is a lot better than we thought. Mike starts off.
I'm going with Green Bay at home here, but it would not surprise me if it was a similar result to Green Bay's game last week. You got a really good defense in Minnesota and an improving defense in Green Bay, so it's going to be close, but I got Green Bay.
Okay, next up, who you got, John?
Yeah, I agree that it's going to be close, but I think I'm going to go with the Vikings on this one. I want to see their offense start to flourish, and I do think that the Packers' offense is on the downhill.
Oh, okay. All right. Colin.
Vikings. I'm going to go Vikings on this one, man. Dalvin Cook has a big game. I'm going for the Vikings.
And you know what? I'm not ready. I'm not sold on them yet. I'm just not. Packers. I'm not. I believe in the Packers right now more than the Vikings. Show me something, Vikings. By next week, I could be hardcore into the Vikings. If they beat the Packers this week, okay, now we're talking Vikes. But I'm going to go one more time against these guys after the Packers got that. All right, and they're at home. So, Colts, Titans. Oh my gosh, this Colts team looks so much better. So much better. Like, so much better. And the Titans, I mean, were the Browns like a tune-up game? Was that an FCS versus FBS type of game? Was that what that was? So, I mean, seriously, Titans, what's up? Are y'all going to get this thing done? I mean, really, or is Brissett and the boys going to head over to Nashville? I'm so excited for this game. I really am. I am so excited for this game. I don't know who the heck's going to win this thing. You know what? I'm gonna go Titans at home. I think after last week they are ready to rock and roll, but it's gonna be a very close game. Mike, who you got?
I got the Titans as well. I think both of these teams played better last week than I thought they were going to. And yeah, Tennessee at home. You know, it's tough for the Colts to go back-to-back road games to start the season in their situation.
I agree, John.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little interesting for me. It's going to be telling for both teams, but I don't think that the Colts are going to be able to replicate on offense. I mean, not that they had a stellar offense last week, but I think their struggles are going to be more apparent. So I'm going to with the Titans.
I agree, Colin.
Hey man, I'm going Titans after a phenomenal game last week. Derrick Henry is going to steamroll over something. I'm going Titans all the way.
Yeah, I think we're all Titans all on the board here. Next up, who we got? Let's see. Who is it? Oh, no. Guys. If the Dolphins somehow win this game over the Patriots, because the Dolphins love to win games over the Patriots at home, but the Dolphins got blown out, like, worst game ever by the Ravens last week, and the Patriots just absolutely destroyed the Steelers, which Steelers aren't much, but yeah. And they got all that talent, now they got AB, and they lose the Dolphins. I don't even know what to say anymore. I might as well just, I don't know. I don't know. Like, the world's just, I don't know. I don't even understand it. So, Mike, start us off.
I mean, I don't know what would have to happen between now and Sunday for Miami to win this game. I can't fathom it. And you've got a New England team that's adding Antonio Brown to the field, theoretically, given his most recent drama. But, even though, I can't see this happening for Miami.
Like, really?
Really?
John!
Yeah, the Patriots are winning this game.
I love it. Colin.
Patriots.
So you can say you had to go there. He's like, I completely agree. There's no way the Patriots. If the Patriots lose this game, the Patriots aren't going to the Super Bowl. I don't even care. Like, that's all there is to it. There's no way. There is no way they're gonna. Yeah. Anyway, next up we have here Bills and Giants. Really, the Bills. If this team doesn't go over and dominate, the Giants are just on the down. I don't know what to say about this team. I don't. Bills all day. Mike?
I'm actually going to go surprising here. I'm going to go Giants. It's tough for Buffalo. They've got back-to-back games in the Meadowlands. That's a tough draw to start your season. And I think the Giants might just have enough. The Bills did not look amazing last week, especially on offense. So I think the Giants, this is probably going to be one of their few wins of the season, but I think they pull one out here against the Bills.
Wow. All right, John.
I'm not sure. I think I'm going to go with the Bills. I'm going to go with the Bills just to play devil's advocate. I'd like to see Josh Allen kind of step into the potential that he had.
Okay.
Coming into last season.
Okay, Kylan.
Hey man, I'm gonna go with the Giants. I mean, even though Eli's on the downside of his mountain, they still have Shepard, Ingram, they have Saquon. I'm going to the Giants.
Okay, well, we're 2-on-2. All right, next up, Seahawks Steelers. I'm sorry if I'm so short with this one. Steelers all day. Mike?
I agree with you, Larry.
I'm sorry, Seahawks.
Not that the Seahawks are a bad team per se, but I think Pittsburgh's going to have a chip on their shoulder after last week. And Seattle, I think they're still trying to find a rhythm without Doug Baldwin on offense.
You know what? I said Steelers as a mistake, but you know what? I'm going to stay with it. I really thought the Seahawks were going to just beat them down, but you know what? You said something really smart there, man. Absolutely. I think they're actually going to be on the down. They're going to fight back for everything they got. So this week, Steelers win this thing, and if they don't, then the Steelers are going to have a very long season. So I like that. I'm going to stay with the Steelers. Even though I picked them accidentally, I'm going to go with them. All right, John, what you got?
Yeah, I'm going to have to see it to believe it. I have yet to see the Steelers offense have any success without both Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown. And so, I mean, until that happens, I'm gonna keep voting against them.
Okay, next up, Colin.
I want to pick Seattle so bad, but going into Pittsburgh, it's still a hard place to play, and it's still early in the season. The team is still gelling. So I'm gonna go ahead with the Pittsburgh Steelers with this one. Juju Smith-Schuster will have a big game, and James Conner gets over the century mark.
Good way to put it. All right, next up, Cowboys Redskins. Oh boy, Mike.
If I could abstain from one game, this would be the game right here. Oh man. Most of the times I'm doubtful of my team. I go against them just pull the anti-jinx card and all this. But at home against the Cowboys, I would be betraying my fandom if I did not pick my team in this game. So I'm going with the Redskins.
You know something, Mike? I'm going again with the Redskins. Why? That pass rush has to get going sometime. I believe in them one more week. I'm taking them. John?
Yeah, I think the Redskins can do it.
Good football team, man. I mean, they are. Cowboys are nasty. But Colin, what you got?
Hey man, Cowboys. Dak is playing for his livelihood, and when you play the man and his money, hey, it's gonna be a long road ahead.
It really is. I mean, it's gonna be something. But I think right now, if the Redskins, they have to have the it factor. That's all there is to it. Cardinals.
I was expecting 3 votes for the Cowboys from you guys, so the fact that was only 1, I'm actually kind of disappointed.
Disappointing over here. Disappointing Mike. So, with that said, next up, we have here, what we got? Okay, next game up, Cardinals last week got a tie. Ravens wiped the floor with the Dolphins. Mike?
I'm going with Baltimore at home here. Arizona, I think, is actually going to be reasonably competitive this year, but in Baltimore, I don't know if Arizona's got enough to stop Lamar Jackson in that offense, what we saw last week.
Okay, John?
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are what the Ravens were last year, and I think the Ravens are going to have success this year. The Cardinals are going to have glimpses, so I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Agreed. Colin?
Man, I'm going Ravens, man. I'm following Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, and Hollywood Brown.
It's gonna be something. It really is. Like it's gonna be a good game, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't see the Ravens losing this game. So I got Ravens all day in this one, man. Next up, Jaguars, Texans. Jaguars were somewhat impressive. Can Gardner Minshew take this team to a victory versus a pretty tough Texans team who almost beat the Saints? Mike.
Houston was the best team to lose last week, and I don't see them losing it again this week.
I like that. John? John, you there?
No.
Where'd you go, man?
Yeah, sorry, I walked out of the room for a second. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one.
I like that. Colin, who you got?
Hey man, I'm going with Texas on this one, man. The Saints just gave them a good tune-up.
I think so. I really do. And the Jaguars, once again, Gardner Minshew didn't look too bad, but it's gonna be a tough game for these guys. Bears, Broncos. Bears, y'all gonna wake up this week? Broncos, I don't think they're impressive. Mike.
Broncos. If the Bears aren't going to win at home, I don't think they're going to win in Mile High.
Good point. John.
I'd like to see that Bears defense wake up. I'm going to go with the Bears.
Okay, Colin.
Yeah, I'm more John on that. I think that Mitchell plays much better this week, and I think that defense, wakes up a little bit. I think that the Bears will win this one.
You know what? That's a great point by by Mike, man. You know what? I'm going to give them one more chance, Bears, but I don't know. I mean, it's not that I can't say on the Broncos.
I will say, this game is going to be 6-3. That's my prediction.
That's my kind of game.
6-3. Hey, Mike said 6-3, man. What, are we playing soccer? I mean, what are we playing here? I mean, baseball?
It might be more offense if they put the nets on the field like soccer.
That's a high-scoring soccer game. I'm just saying right now. Anyway, so I'm gonna go with the Bears in this one. It's not that I don't hate the Broncos or anything, but I'm just saying they are a very good team. And if the Bears will win this week, I don't even know what to say. So next up, Saints and Rams. Oh boy, Colin, this is your time. Shine.
Oh baby, listen, payback is you know what I'm saying? We going to LA. And listen, man, we're going to bring our gumbo because they talked about our gumbo last time. So listen, we got to add something to the pot, baby. Saints win this one in a nice fashion.
I love it. All right, John, Mike, what you got?
I mean, New Orleans has a way bigger dog in this fight than LA does after what happened in last year's championship game. And they're riding high from that last-second victory. I'm going to go with the Saints here.
I like it. John?
Even though Kylan picked the Cowboys, I'm going to respect it.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry.
John, what you got?
Yeah, honestly, I think Colin had a point when he said, payback's coming, and you guys deserved to lose last week. So I think payback's coming. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Yeah, I'm going with the Rams. I'm going to go with the Rams. Hey, man, I can't not go with the Saints. They're going to have revenge in their minds, man. They're so mad about that game last year, and the Saints, this might just be lopsided just because it's lopsided. Like, not saying the Rams are a bad team, but the Saints are going to go all out. So, once again, we're going to skip the primetime face-off games. We'll get those at the end of the year. Oh, sorry, at the end of the show. And that's actually, wait, we got a few more, I think. Okay, we do. We have, how could I forget? Lord. Chiefs and Raiders. That's the last one we forgot. Well, would you look at that? All right, start us off, Mike.
The Oakland Raiders, man, really solid game last week. Derek Carr looked good. The run game looked good. The secondary looked good. I'm going with Kansas City on this one.
I love it. John, who you got?
Yeah, this is the Chiefs game for Luis.
It really is. Colin, who you got?
Hey, man, I'm going with Pat Mahomes, man, Sammy Watkins. Oh, Lord. I'm sorry, Oakland. But, Larry, next week, you have all privileges to talk about Oakland because Kansas City's about to dice them up.
Yeah, I think they're going to destroy them, but they're my team, and you know the rule of the picks. I got to pick my team. I always pick my team. I think we're going to pull this thing off, but if we get destroyed, well, don't say I told you so. So there you go. Anyway, y'all, with that, so we went way over on the time, but my apologies. So we got 3 primetime face-offs to get to probably back to back to back. Let's get on to them. So first things first, we're taking ourselves a short break because Mike does have to bounce. So with that said, we will go ahead and roll on out. Mike, any last words for the peeps before you're out of here today, man?
Hey, man, it was a great week 1. That was a fantastic kickoff to the football season. I can only hope for more of it.
Hey, you and me both, man. So we will see Mike next week when we get back with our first primetime face-off of the evening. You're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your directory for all that is sports.
Wrestling fans in the podcast world, you are in the right place to listen to the right show, the premier show in the professional wrestling podcasting world. This is Ring Rambling Radio, and you're listening to one of the co-hosts. I am Martin Sandoval, a.k.a. the SoCal Saint, along with my 2 co-hosts, the lovely Felicia and my boy Matt. Yes, every Saturday or every other Saturday morning, you can listen to us, the premier wrestling team, giving you the premier wrestling news, rumors, updates, event discussions, everything that has to do with professional wrestling. You're in the right place. IE Sports Radio presents Ring Rambling Radio. Don't miss it, because it's just too sweet.
Two Wheels Wednesday is the place to come for all your motorcycle sports news every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio with myself, Matt White. All the latest news, rumours, race reviews and previews from World and British Superbikes and the big one, MotoGP. Two Wheels Wednesday, every Wednesday on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sport.
Hi, I'm Phil Robinson, running points, setting up Phil Jones for the finish. Join us every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, as we break down the week in basketball on the home for Real Talk Sports Radio, IESportsRadio.com.
Drivers, start your engines. Auto racing takes many forms, from the close quarter contact of NASCAR
to the high-speed, high-risk atmosphere of IndyCar,
all the way to the pinnacle of technology with the Formula One World Championship.
No matter if you prefer the high banks of Daytona,
the concrete canyons of Long Beach,
or the flowing curves of the Nürburgring,
The international language of motorsports is simple. Go fast.
Run hard.
And come home first.
So join us, myself, Daryl Kinsey Jr.,
Lolita Camello.
And Michael Ward.
on a world tour of all the best motorsports has to offer on the Extra Mile, Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, only on your home for all. That is sports, i.e. Sports Radio.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, that is the only commercial break of the evening. We only have an hour and 20 minutes to go, and I like it because our first guest here did say something that is actually very, very valid. That, you know, hey, it's the first week and things happen. We went way over. The first primetime face-off should start 20 minutes ago, but is what it is. We're going to go back to back to back tonight. Primetime face-offs. Let's have some fun, y'all. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and we already welcomed in Mr. John Felipe earlier, of course, diehard Panthers fan. He's ready to rock and roll. And, hey, hopefully all you are as well. Next up, man, we have here a YouTuber and professional track star. So glad to have him here on the show yet again. We've been playing, like Twitter tag the last couple of months. I tried to get him on for 8 divisions in 8 days. The timing was off. I was trying to get him on again in the preseason. We didn't end up even doing the preseason this year. And then we get today, and I'm like, all right, cool. We finally got him. So my apologies first and foremost, but I'm so glad he's here today. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming, as I said earlier, YouTuber and, of course, professional track star. Gotta love him, man. Diehard Bucks fans. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Dentarius Locke. How's it going, man? How you doing today?
Everything's good. How you guys doing?
Hey, man. Doing my best. Doing our best. Glad to have you a part of the show tonight, man. So with that said, you already heard it. We're going to go hyper speed for all these here. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So first things first, we have here the away team starting things off, and that, of course, is the Buccaneers. So, Colum, you got a question for Dentarius here about those Bucks?
Yes, sir, I do. This Bucks team, a team that's in my division, we know NFC South is gritty. You know, I want to ask you, sir, on today, besides Jameis Winston, besides Mike Evans, is the defense ready to contend, or is it still a learning curve?
I honestly believe right now that this defense is much better than what we've seen over the past 20 to 25 years. We do know that we had the Tampa 2 defense with Tony Dungy, Raheem Morris had it, Greg Schiano, other different coaches. But now you see what Todd Bowles bringing in from the Jets. He has a different kind of defense. Now what you'll see, and what you guys seen the first week, is you see him bringing all kind of blitzes. You don't see nobody actually standing on the ground on their hand. Only see two people you see doing that, Vita Vea and the Dominican Sue. Everybody is standing up, so you don't know who's actually coming. And that paid off by Vernon having the pick six early in the game. So you're going to see that a lot more this season. Now it's going to be confusing to a lot more different quarterbacks. They're so used to us sitting back and playing deep third and playing zone. You don't know what we're doing now with the first front 7 people. You don't know who's coming. You don't know who's going to drop back. So I think this team can be very good. The defense can be very good, and you can see a difference. You know, it's very similar to what Bruce Arians had in Arizona.
Okay, I like it. All right, so next question here. What's your question for Mr. John Felipe here, Colin, about his Panthers?
My biggest question is, we do know that they have Christian McCaffrey, we know Cam Newton. Besides those two and Greg Olsen, what is the biggest piece on that offense? I mean, we know that defense is solid. The defense has always been like that. But what about the passing game? You take out Greg Olsen, Christian McCaffrey, and Cam. What do they have that's very dangerous?
Well, this is actually an exciting year. That's a good question. This is an exciting year for the Panthers offense. I think we finally have all the pieces on offense to allow Cam to flourish. As soon as his shoulder gets healthy, and it hasn't been, he's dealing with the same injury Andrew Luck dealt with, and that was just a few months ago, surgery. And so once that shoulder is healthy and he's able to let the ball loose, he has guys like Curtis Samuel, who incredible yards after the catch, DJ Moore, incredible yards after the catch, and decisively, or should I say, They don't seem like it, but they're also great perimeter catchers. If you've seen a couple of the touchdowns they had last year, they have a lot of reach for guys their size, especially Curtis Samuel, who I believe is 5'10", 5'11", but he has incredible length, incredible reach, and much more effort than Kelvin Benjamin ever gave us. So I think those two pieces are going to be fundamental for our offense, DJ Moore and Curtis Samuel. But also, there's guys coming back that are good slot guys, third down guys like Jarius Wright. Jarius right on the verge of balling. Every time it's a third down situation and Cam's not rushing, he's throwing it to Jarius Wright, and he's sure-handed on that third down from the slot. I think he's been a great investment. And there's other guys that we have too that are question marks that may be able to succeed, guys like Chris Hogan or Ian Thomas. So there's not a lack of talent for this Panthers offense. It's just all about it all coming together.
Okay, so hey, Dontarius actually just stole the thunder. That's supposed to be Colin's question, but okay, thank you for that great question, man.
That was different. I wasn't going to intrude, but that was different, but hey, John, hey, you handled it under pressure, John. Great job.
Hey, man, Dontarius can ask questions all day. I love it, man. This guy's got a YouTube channel, man. He's the real deal. He speaks football very fluently, so I love it, man. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump on over into the actual face-off itself. It'll be a little altered tonight to make it a little faster. So let's get on into it. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and jump on into last week's thoughts, man. So John, you told us all about your thoughts for last week, so that kind of already cut things up. That really cut stuff up last week. That cuts up the segment a little bit because you already told us all about your Panthers. But who we haven't heard yet is Dontarius Locke talking about his Bucks. I don't know if you were listening to us earlier. Sorry, you probably don't like us up very much anymore because all the things we had to say about the Bucks. But hey, Mr. Locke, let us know, man, your thoughts on last week's game for the Buccaneers.
Well, I did like what our defense did. Like I said, we've seen the pick six, which a lot of Buck fans have been trying to hear from Vernon Hargreaves in like 3 years. You've seen the defense look a lot more, rushing a lot more, right? So we're bringing more blitz. We're coming up there making a lot more noise. The biggest thing that I did not like was the offensive line play and the fact that we switched running back so much. Honestly, in my opinion, Peyton Barber is not our starting running back. I think Ronald Jones should be the guy. I mean, he had 13 carries and had 75 yards. Now, the biggest thing that a lot of Bucs fans are talking about right now is Jameis Winston's play. I mean, there were 3 picks that was thrown, and there was another one that could have been the pick six on top of the 2 pick sixes that he threw in that game. If we clean up a few things, we may be looking at a different game. I mean, you have 2 pick sixes that were 14 points that were given to them, and that gives them 17 all right there. So, with a few mistakes, I really need DeMar Dotson to stop holding. Donovan Smith needs to get that left foot out quicker because the ends are beating him on the outside very quick. And we need to get the running game influence a lot more. When Jameis was at Florida State, he had a very good running game. So we need that. Once we get that going, I think we see a different outcome in different games.
Okay, really good stuff there. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and get on into the X Factors. You know I love X Factors. Well, you guys are on the road this week, so Dontarius, I don't know about you guys having X Factors, with the crowd, but you definitely have your X Factors on the team. So, let's start things off here with your X Factors. You have 1 minute on the clock, man. Let us know who you think are going to be the X Factors in this game versus the Panthers. Begin.
Well, honestly, our biggest X factor is the running game. Now, my opinion right now is the fact that it needs to be Ronald Jones. I've watched Peyton Barber play for a couple of years, even at Auburn. He's a good backup running back to me. I mean, he started last year. He had about 4 or 5 touchdowns. Ronald Jones was a rookie last year, so you can see this year that Ronald Jones is totally different. Again, like I said earlier, Winston is a better quarterback when he has the running game. At Florida State, he had Carlos Williams, he had Devontae Freeman, he had James Wilder, he had multiple guys. When he has that kind of running game, now we're looking at a different James. And the person that starts that off, in my opinion, is Ronald Jones. We get him started early against that front seven that the Panthers have with the former Buck player, Jeremy McCoy. We're looking at a better game. If we don't get that running game started, we could be looking at a terrible game tomorrow.
You know what? That's something. And let's see, were you on the time? Maybe you were right on the time. Okay, cool. All right, so X Factors. All right, so give us your thoughts, John. Who are your X Factors for this week and why?
Yeah, well, my X Factor is kind of similar to the X Factor for the last decade of the Panthers, but increasingly so now because of that shoulder. Cam Newton is our offense. I mean, our offensive success rides or dies with Cam Newton. And we've ridden him to an MVP season, and we've also, died behind him in a couple of seasons as well. But I think if he's able to throw the ball effectively and accurately, and I think that shoulder does also affect his accuracy, not only his throw power, then our offense is more potent than it's been in years. In order for our defense to be able to produce the way we can, they need to be on the field. We can't constantly have them on the field. We need to cut down on the 3 and outs, and we need to cut down on the risky throws, and it all comes down to that shoulder. So I'd say the X factor is not specifically Cam Newton as a person, but it's his shoulder. It's the health of his shoulder.
You know what? That is very... X factors can also be those injuries, guys, and not getting hurt. So, like battling injuries. So, good stuff there, John. I completely agree with that. So, game plan time, y'all. So, let's have fun with this and talk about those game plans. And, kind of just speak about... And this is the fun part where we kind of go, kind of head-to-head here. So, first... Well, we do head-to-head here. The first thing here, Mr. Locke. Let's go ahead and jump on in here. You guys... got an interesting... actually, you know what? Sorry, it's not game plan time yet. This is weakness time. Picking out a weakness. So, first things first. Mr. Locke, you have 30 seconds... I'm sorry, you have a minute on the clock. Let us know who you think or what weaknesses you guys, the Buccaneers, can expose and what can help you guys win this thing on the road. You have 1 minute. Begin.
I think a weakness that we can expose with this team is the fact that Cameron is a great player. But if you show him different blitzes, you're looking at a different player. And that's my honest opinion. We do know Christian McCaffrey is going to be him. I mean, out of all the teams that we played ever, he's one of 3 players that's went 150 yards plus twice against us in the same season from scrimmage. So he's going to be a player that's going to be dominant regardless. But if I give Cam different schemes, he don't know who's coming. Now we get him out of the pocket, which he's pretty solid at, but we come and sack him a few times. Now we're looking at a different player. If we don't do that, we give him the time. Now he can do these reverses, these trick plays. He has all time to do that. If we do not show any kind of pressure, we sit back in zone like we've done for so long. Now we're looking at a player who can look at your defense and say, okay, well, I'm just going to dump it off to Christian McCaffrey, Greg Olsen, and Curtis Samuel. So show these blitzes. Todd Bowles needs to have the same game plan he had last week. He do that, we're looking at
Okay, all right. Well, first things first, John. What do you think of Dontarius's weaknesses on your team? So go ahead, let us know, man. Defend your team. Does it happen, or is he onto something?
Well, I kind of want to agree in mirror your point. I want to say that the weakness for the Buccaneers would be the pressure on the line. I think if we can get Jameis, everything you said about Cam Newton, I believe about Jameis Winston, but I do think you underestimate Cam's ability to recognize blitzes. If there's a problem, it's going to be because he doesn't have time to get the ball out, not because of his lack of recognition. He's one of the most underrated quarterbacks in terms of his understanding of schemes, and he's not one to get frazzled either. So he can get hit up and he'll be fine.
Oh, okay. So now it's your turn. Your turn, John. Pick out a weakness that you feel your Panthers can expose to help you guys win this thing at home on Thursday. You have 1 minute. Begin.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to come down to us stopping that run game early. If we can penetrate with Gerald McCoy, penetrate that middle of the defensive line, I think that's going to be able to shut down everything else, because then Jameis Winston's not going to have time to do 5-step dropbacks because we're already going to know, and we're not going to be afraid of the run, and it's going to be a snowball effect. And so I think if we can stop the run and stop it early, it's going to prevent them from doing plays that, build up over time.
Okay, you know what? That's a really good answer. You're right before the time as well. I mean, my gosh. Okay, well, that was only 30 seconds. Alrighty, well, give it to us, man. 30 seconds, Dontarius. Let us know. What do you think? I mean, do you actually agree with that against your team? Or are you like, no? So defend your team, man. What you think?
I think that's a good point. I mean, I think that is a weakness that could possibly be effective. But one thing is, if you do that, that's a setup with this offense is you put 7 in the box or 8 in the box. Now you leave one of the greatest receivers in Bucs history on his own on the island. Bradbury cannot guard Mike Evans. No one can. We know that. That's Richard Sherman. So you have him, then you have Chris Godwin on one, and then you have Rashard Perriman. We have multiple pieces. I get a couple of runs going. You focus on stopping that run. Now we have O.J. Howard.
Oh, go ahead. Finish your point, Dontarius. Go ahead, Ben. Sorry about that.
Well, now we have other pass options. So the front of Byron left is setting up the run. You to bite into that jump on Peyton Barber. Now you have O.J. Howard. Now you have Cameron Brake. Now you have Mike Evans. Now you have Chris Godwin. We set up everything through the run. Once we do that, you shoot the play action, one-on-one with Bradbury, Evans is going to catch that. There's no question.
You know what, man? That's a great point. And yeah, man, I'm glad you let you finish. That was a good point. So, all right, y'all. So, on to the game plan. So, we kind of chopped it up a little bit tonight to make it a little shorter. So, on to the game plan. Let's do it. And, of course, we get a little rebuttal in there. So, Dontarius, once again, you are the away team. Give us, in 1 minute, man, what you think who you think your or what your game plan is for this week. Of course, give us, why you feel this is your game plan, and tell us what, this is going to be, what you guys have to execute to win this game. You have 1 minute on the clock. Big game.
Like I said, I've been preaching all night, and I will post on my YouTube later on, is we need to be effective running the ball. We can't sit back there and have Jameis throw 30 passes a game. No quarterback is going to be able to be very good doing that. We need to have Ronald Jones in the game. When he got very effective later on in the game, 13 for 75, I keep saying that. The third quarter, he looked very good. Now we can move the ball. If we do that in the beginning of the game, if we can destroy that front line, we're looking at a very good game offensively. Defense is going to do its job. I have no doubt about that. But if we can be very effective by running the ball, now you're leaving, like I said, O.J. Howard across the middle, Cameron Brake. We have entirely too many weapons. We have way more weapons. We have a top 5 offense. So we need to run the ball. Once we do that and get that situated, now we're good to go.
Ooh, okay. All right. Hey. Do me a quick favor. Do me a quick solid, John. What do you think about that game plan, and why is it not going to work versus your team? 30 seconds.
No, I actually do think my game plan is going to mirror his. It's going to, because what he wants to do, we need to stop. We need to be able to stop that run early. And so the second we stop that run, and I don't mean focus all of our resources on the run to leave Mike Evans and O.J. Howard open. I simply mean show them in the beginning that they can't run the ball, to the fact that we don't even need to expend those resources. Make it such desperation, 2 yards after 2 yards after 2 yards, that they're forced to throw.
Perfect. Right at the buzzer. Okay, well, let's go ahead and go to your game plan, John. What you got, man, and why? So pick, go ahead. You got a minute on the clock. What is your game plan to defeat these Buccaneers at home and get that first victory of the season?
So I guess I've been talking a lot about defense, so might as well switch it over to offense. I think our offensive line is going to be incredibly important. Our offensive line looked fantastic last week against the Rams. I feel like they gave Cam all kinds of time. They gave Christian McCaffrey some wide open holes. He's also going to be incredibly important. We're going to need to be able to get that ground game on both sides of the line. I mean, I've talked about the defensive line, but that offensive line needs to be able to generate yardage, needs to be able to protect Cam. It's going to need to be able to give Cam time for plays to develop. And excuse me. But I think if we're sound at the point of attack on both sides of the line, we've got this game.
Okay, well that works for me. Okay, well go ahead, Ontarius. How is that not going to work against you guys?
It can, but I don't think so. I mean, that's the reason why we went and got Ndamukong Suh. Honestly, Jerry McCoy is a great player, but Ndamukong Suh is a lot more aggressive, and he's shown it in the first game, even in preseason. Already got a fine already for hitting somebody, which should have been a fine anyway. But William Brooks is like a different player. Devin White and Levante David is playing his mind right now. So with that front seven, you're going to see a lot of different things come. You're going to see a safety drop down and not know he's coming. You're going to see a lot of different things. Christian McCaffrey is a passing back. He's not a running back. He's more so of a passing back. We stop that. We contain Cam, like what happened in the Super Bowl with Von Miller against the Broncos. We can see a blowout here.
Ooh, I have to push back a little bit on that one.
Ooh, go ahead, John.
Christian McCaffrey is similar to how Cam's underrated in his ability to diagnose the defense. Christian McCaffrey's underrated in his ability to run between the tackles. Now, he's not necessarily going to churn his legs for extra yardage if there's 3 guys on him. But he's shown the ability time and time again that even if there's no holes, he can make holes because he's so slippery. So he's a between the tackles runner. He's not one-dimensional.
Okay, well, there it is, gentlemen. Okay, well, a great job to both of you. That was a wonderful, I like that little debate that went back and forth there. Good stuff. So, let's go ahead and get on in. This week, like I said, this was just a jumbled up week anyway. I am barely just figuring out, like, all of my schedule for everything right now. It has just been a rough week. Like, it had been, oh my gosh, it's been a rough week. But, so I didn't get a whole bunch of votes this week. Didn't even get to send out the voting poll as much as I wanted to. It was just bad. So overall, thank you to everybody who voted. Not a whole bunch of people voted, but for everybody who did, thank you very much. And with 71% of the voting poll, 71% of you are taking the Carolina Panthers to win this thing at home. Hey, I mean, like you would have guessed any other way, because right now, of course, you know, who's been doing better, who's the team that's, you know, more towards the top, who's the team that has to improve, you know, that's kind of what it is. However, as we saw last week, there were more upsets and crazy games and even a tie that shouldn't even been a tie. So I'm just saying, anything could happen. These Buccaneers come ready to play. We don't even know. It's going to be pretty legit. But with that said, let's go ahead and, give props to both these guys here, man. Thank you both so much. That was awesome. Appreciate you guys like crazy for being on the show, of course. And first things first, John. We ain't even got to go over because we're going to kill some more time. But with that said, gentlemen, great stuff. Dontarius, man, now it's your time as always, brother. You got to let everybody know, man. Where can these diehard Buccaneers fans listening right now find you on YouTube and Twitter and anywhere else you want to share, man?
You guys definitely can find me on Twitter and Instagram, Black-813. Black, the word dash 13. Also, check out my YouTube video, Dentarius, Dentarius, Lock, L-O-C-K-E. You can definitely check out my page here. I'll be posting another video later on tonight sometime. So, but it's going to be a good game tomorrow. So, I expect a lot of fireworks.
I do as well, man, and I think it's gonna be a good game. It's gonna be a good one. And by the way, I gotta get back. I gotta post up Dontarius and stuff, man. He does some really good stuff, great content. This man, like I say, he speaks fluent football, so make sure to go check him out, man. He's always willing to be on the show every time. Like I said, I couldn't appreciate you more for being on the show, man. So with that said, you know the drill, John. Where can they find you, man?
I want to thank Dontarius again for coming on. I appreciate you coming on, debating, talking some football. That's always, a fun time. But you guys can find me, the Brothers Blue on YouTube, Carpan423 on Twitter, and of course here on IE Sports Radio.
Alrighty, well there it is, and we all have it there. So with that said, we have a little time now, so we are gonna take somewhat of a break. Go quick, kind of, well, hopefully kind of quick, we'll see. But few minutes here, and we'll get right back to you. So with that said, y'all, much love to our two combatants for this first primetime face-off. We'll be right back with a whole nother one. Getting ready, y'all. Eagles and Falcons Sunday Night Football should be a good one. We'll be back to the other side of this break. You're listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Hey, what's up, sports fans? You're looking for a different type of sports talk show, something you haven't heard before, you gotta check out the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday on 2 Live Stews Radio, 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Sports talk at its finest, always have great guests, playing some good hip-hop. You don't want to miss it. Make sure to tune in to the BS3 Sports Show every other Saturday at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Ladies and gentlemen, hear me and hear me good. If you like sports, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like comedy, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. If you like a different opinion coming from a different angle, then you like the Wait a Minute Show. So join me Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with your host, Jelani J.B. Bodie. And of course, my man Lopan on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Ain't that right, Lopan?
Good day, folks. Yours truly, Nico Green, here, reminding you, tune in to the Neutral Zone Hockey Talk Radio Show, Tuesdays, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 Eastern, proudly brought to you by IE Sports Radio. It's the Neutral Zone. All hockey, all the time. Take care. See you soon.
What up, all you boxing fans? This is Vince Wright, the sports governor, and me and Gilbert Batista are the host of Ringside on IE Sports Radio. Make sure you keep it tuned to IE Sports Radio, Spreaker.com for the latest edition of Ringside. All the boxing news you need right here. Keep it tuned, Spreaker.com, IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Lopan, they didn't even want you. Heck, they didn't even want me. But you know what? Right about now, they have no choice. Looking for the real sports talk? Talk that's for us, the people? Look no further. The Wait a Minute Show, a prime time sports comedy cocktail that tucks you in at night. Join me and Lopan Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the 2LiveStewsRadio.com and Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the WaitAMinuteShow.com. Sounds like a plan to me. Ain't that right, Lopan? Indeed.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com. Part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Lay down music.
Hey, what's up, BS3 sports fans? If you love listening to the BS3 Sports Show, check out the weekend wrap-up every Monday at 12:15 Central Time, 1:15 Eastern, recapping the weekend in sports like you never heard it before. Comedy, interactive chat room, it's a must-listen. Weekend wrap-up on Spreaker.com, part of the X Squad. Check it out. You won't be disappointed.
Hello, soccer fans. Pierre Moss here with you. I am the host of the Soccer Scoreboard Show right here on IE Sports Radio each and every week. Games and the best action from around the world of soccer. Not only do we have live scores for you, but we also news and all the latest stories from the soccer world right here on the Soccer Scoreboard Show. Come join us each and every week right here on IE Sports Radio.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, this show just has been a different story in a different book. I'll tell you that right now. So, oh my gosh, this has been craziness. So, first things first, I just gotta say, my apologies. I right now thought we were gonna have to do a phone call. Apparently, okay, so I had an Eagles fan a little bit ago. He canceled on me last minute, so no big deal. It is what it is. I went and tried to find it. Another Eagles fan couldn't find. Actually, found another Eagles fan. Unfortunately, he's like completely unavailable. So it's just kind of one of those things. However, I just got to thank those who are, sticking with it and who are just here with us. So thank you so much for being, for the three who are going to be remaining with us here. And I'm really excited to have this gentleman here and the last two that are going to be on for tonight. So appreciate you all. So with that said, first and foremost, we're not going to have no debate apparently, which really sucks because that already breaks our streak of having debates all year long. It ended in week 2, great, but it is what it is. So with that said, starting things, let's go ahead and just have ourselves a little talk about this Sunday night. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, welcoming here, his first time here on IE Sports Radio. His first time. He says listened to the entire show so far, so I gotta give him mad props for that. And looking here at his Twitter, man, I found him a little bit ago. He's actually a YouTuber, so that's legit, man. And he's all over it. Like he's all over it, man. He looks like an all ATL guy. The team that might win the MLS Cup this year. Let's be realistic. That team is nasty. Of course, and I'm talking about Atlanta United FC. Looks like he's a fan of theirs. So, really excited, of course, to hear what he's got to say about his Falcons, and just glad to have him here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming once again, big shout out and glad to have him here. And gotta give the big applause for this one, y'all. Welcoming for his first time, and hopefully not his last, for darn sure. Welcoming the Dawn of the South. What's going on, man? How you doing today, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm glad to be here, man. Doing good.
Glad to have you here, man. Thank you so much for being here. Like I said, this has been a crazy show. I just got to say, man, on air, my apologies for how the show has gone today. Really.
Oh, it's all good. I've been enjoying it, man.
Well, appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for being a part of it. So, with that said, let's go ahead and just jump on into a little bit of talk about this game, man. First and foremost, so Sunday Night Football, we have here quite the the game on our hands with, I can still remember it to this day. I'm not quite sure, I'm not trying to expose your age or anything, but not quite sure how old you are, but me, being, I'm 30, so you may or may not, depending on, if you're a youngster or if you're up there with me, depending on, on that, but I can still remember in 2005, that crazy, really hard-hitting Brian Dawkins, Algie Crumpler, my bad to bring that up, but NFC Championship game in 2005 where the Eagles would edge you guys out and move on to the Super Bowl where they would lose to the Patriots. So, all I can think about when I think of Eagles and Falcons is that game because of how that was just my gosh, that was a fight. Like, you had McNabb versus Vic. It was just that was a good football game, man. So, that's what I could think of when I think of Falcons and Eagles. And, I guess I'm glad to have you here today, man, to talk about this game. But, first and foremost, you remember that game?
Yeah, I do. I remember it, man. Yep.
You guys... What was that? Oh, you still there?
Yeah, I'm scared.
Okay, cool. Yeah, man, that was quite the battle, and you guys had a really good game that, had a pretty dang good game. But, so let's go ahead and talk about last week, first and foremost, man. You're a Falcons fan. On the show earlier, we were talking about the concerns about these Falcons, because I'm a little concerned right now, too. I know it's only week 1, but my gosh, the Vikings are not a better team than you guys. I don't know how that happened. Apparently they showed they were on Sunday, which I don't know what to say much about it. All I know is they came to play, and... you guys didn't look like a very good football team. Realistically. So go ahead, man. Give us your thoughts on last week's game.
Hey, man, it was a tough one, man. we came in with prefix to our mind. We came in expecting something, and we got unexpected. Got punched in the mouth. We couldn't get back up. And we'll take that L, but what they're doing for it, it makes it tough for everybody else. You know, we got a chip on our shoulder, and we're going to do our thing, man.
I agree. I definitely agree. You guys are a tough team, man. You guys got fight. You guys got grit. But it's just, it was kind of a toughie. Like, it's true. You guys got punched. I like how you said that. You got punched in the mouth early, and you just couldn't rebound. And, I mean, you know, the Falcons are something, man. You guys, it's like ever since, I don't want to bring it up, my bad, but since that Super Bowl, man, you guys have been fighting. I mean, but we cannot omit the fact that, let's be real, man, the Saints, and, you know, I hate to say anything about Dante Arias' team, because we just had him on the air right now, so big shout out to my boy, great guy, but, you know, the Bucs aren't necessarily a contender. However, I mean, they could, who knows, they could pop out this year and be one, but the Saints and the Panthers, well, let's just say they're not the easiest teams to beat. And last year, or it was the year after Super Bowl, you guys went 10-6, and I think you guys still missed the playoffs. Or if you did, you guys lost in the first round. Like, it is not easy to play in this division in the NFC South.
It's not.
And you guys, man, were on this. It's tough. It is tough. So, with that said, so what do you think personally? Like, what do you think right now with this team? I mean, what is it that you feel the Falcons got to do in order to get back to that point?
I mean, first of all, we got the best receiver core in the game, man. You know, we got Julio, we got Sanu, we got Ridley, you know what I'm saying? We got Hoosberg, you know what I'm saying? We going to do our thing. All we need to do, man, is just get out there and be the Falcons, man. We got to go out there and do our thing, man. You know, we just got to go out there with a chip on our shoulder and just beat everybody like the, you know what I'm saying? That they did a tough last one, that they did a tough in the Super Bowl, but it's all here. You know, man, we got to get it. You know, we got to get it. We just go out there with the brotherhood. We're going to do our thing.
Absolutely. And I think you guys got a really good chance of being, still a playoff contender type of team. That's why I was very surprised with you guys. I was very surprised. The Vikings, to me, the ship has sailed. Like, I just feel like they're like the Clippers, and I'm sorry, I'm a Laker fan over here. But I just feel like the window was there and it closed, and that's about it. And I don't care what y'all do. Like, I mean, I don't know. The Vikings going to have to show me a lot more in order for me to be like, the Vikings are legit. If they win this week versus Green Bay, you already heard me on air. But as of right now, I'm not quite sure what it is you guys are going to do, to get back. But I like your response. I like your answer. It's a good team, man. You guys have a good football team. But as of right now, it's just kind of tough. I mean, Tyrese McKinley, man. Let's talk about this guy real quick. In my opinion, he's a great start to rehype this defensive line. And I really feel like you guys have actually, I think, one of the better defensive lines in the league.
Yeah, we do, man. I mean, the defensive line is going to be on point, man. All we got to do is just stop it on, play our game, do what we got to do. We're going to do our thing, man. I mean, to me, I think we got the best team in the league right now. And we just got to get out there and just show everybody, man. We try to be in the, the butt of the joke. So we about to be, the scholars of the joke, you know what I mean? So all we got to do, man, go out there and just buzz heads, man. That's what we going to do. I'm telling you, man. If you ain't heard, man, we bringing Dirty Bird back. And when Dirty Bird come in, I'm telling you, boy, it's going to be tough to play in all them stages. It's going to be real, real tough to come play in the bend, man. Real tough. Come on. We're going to be crunk. So we're going to have that 12 man. So all we need to do for the boys to go on the field, perform, man. That's all we need. Everybody needs to stay healthy. Everybody needs to stay healthy, and we're going to do our thing, man. I'm telling you, man, we're going to surprise you this year. And I really believe that. We're going to surprise you this year, man. We're going to get a bust some head on this year.
Oh, okay, I like that, because I'm glad that you guys, man, the Falcon faithful is just something else. You guys, I love it, man. Y'all are just faithful in the ATL, man. I'm loving it. So with that said, let's talk about real quick too. I love how you said the best receiving core. You know what, man? You got a youngster there that I'm just all over, man. I cannot express this enough. He is an absolute machine, and the more you guys continue to use him, the better it's going to be. No slight to Julio Jones. None of that, because he is amazing. But Ridley is a gosh darn monster. We knew it. You know it. Everyone knows it. Hey, man, how much longer is it before you guys unleash Ridley like crazy?
I'm telling you, that Julio 2.0. I'm telling you. Julio, he said just take Julio to give it to it. Julio getting old. He got about 3 or 4 more years left. He's going to give it a torch to you. He's going to do his thing. I mean, the boy going to bust my head up. I'm telling tell you, you're going to be in the end zone doing a lot of dirty bird dance. That's what I'm saying. Watch.
Hey, I can see it, man. You guys got a tough team, and honestly, man, he's somebody that can get to be that big, a big star. So let's go and jump into the game now on Sunday night, man. So first things first, I want X factors. Let us know, man, who are your X factors for this game, and who are going to help you guys win this thing coming up on Sunday.
Hey, I think our X factor is going to be our defensive line, man. We're going to step up. We're going to put pressure on the quarterback. Rick, for other name, he injury prone, so we put pressure on him, he's going to trip over his foot and hurt himself. So we put pressure on the quarterback, we're going to do our thing, man. All we got to do is the defensive line, our linebacker, that's our factor right there. They're going to show out.
I think so, man. You guys got a very good team, and I like this, man. So, all right, next up, I want to know all about this next talking point, and this is going to be, without a doubt, man, I think, this is always the big one, but I got to know, man, game plan. What is it you guys have to do to win this thing on Sunday? Like, give me the game plan. What are the ins and outs? What is it that you guys have to do versus these Eagles? If you can, give me a weak point in their team that you think you guys can expose.
We expose their secondary. We got the best receiver core. Expose their secondary. We're going to do that. Expose the secondary.
I like that. Okay, well, I like that. You're going to take their secondary. You're going to take your receiving core of the secondary, and hey, you got Matt Ryan. The guy can definitely rifle the ball. So I like that. So next up,
he's going to do his thing.
He is. I think he definitely is. So give me your game plan, man. Once again, ins and outs, offense, defense, special teams, whatever you want to do, wherever you want to go. Let us know, man. What is your game plan for the Falcons to beat the Eagles on Sunday?
I think our game plan need to be defense. Defense need to step up. The front seven need to do their thing, and once the front seven do their thing, we're going to have a lot of interceptions, man. So we put pressure on Carson Wentz, we're going to win the game. That's a W for us. Put pressure on Carson Wentz, we see, our secondary step up, be good.
You know what? That is a great response. I mean, because honestly, he is a tough dude. He's somebody who's going to fight. He already had a lot to prove coming from a FCS school, so he's got that chip on the shoulder. But if you guys continue to continue to be pressure, you talked about your defensive line already being an extremely tough defensive line. They're not going to be easy to get away from. And of course, you talked about you having the best receiving core. So really, I agree. I really do think you guys have a very good chance on Sunday. I mean, you got to worry. Yeah, they do have, they have some decent receivers themselves, of course. Deshaun Jackson, a thing or two about him. He played in your division for a couple of years. He may have lost a step or two, but he's still Deshaun Jackson. You gotta give that man respect because he's absolutely great. And you got to, Fletcher Cox. You got a big anchor there on that defensive line. They have a pretty decent team themselves. And in week 1, they had quite the comeback versus the Redskins, which is, a team though I thought was going to be decent this year. But really, right now, I think you have great points of why your team should be able to win it. So, with that said, I like your game plan. I like what you, brought forward. And, man, I think you guys definitely have that chance of winning this thing. So, give us a little something, man. We're pretty much at the end of the segment right now. But go ahead, man. Let's have a little bit of fun with this. You got a final score in mind?
Hey, man, I'm going to go ahead and put we're going to beat them boys 28-3.
28-3?
Yes, sir.
Man!
Everybody we playing going to score 3 points, I guarantee.
Man! I love this. As I'm telling you, man, you guys are the faithful. Like, seriously, if they win this thing by that much, I'm about to tweet it out to you, man. Be like, hey, he told you so on the show. Like, really, that is absolutely incredible. I would love to see the Falcons rebound the big victory, especially after how bad they looked in week 1. But it happens. It all happens. Look at us this week on 3 and Out. We dropped the ball. We didn't even look. We looked terrible today. I'll tell you that right now. The 3 and 8 team, the 3 and Out team. I think we took a loss today. We didn't look very good at all. But we all have those weeks where we're just off, and then those weeks where we're just on, and all you can hope for and want is, guess what? You need to just, have more better weeks than bad weeks. So, I'm really excited for what we got going, and I'm excited for what you guys got going, and I just want to see you guys do more of it, man. So with that said, I want to give you a little bit of time here at the end of the segment. So go ahead and give us all you got, man. Let us know, man. Go ahead, plug yourself. Let all these diehard Falcons fans listening right now know where they can find you, your YouTube channel, your Twitter handle, whatever you like to share, man. Go ahead and let everybody know about where they can find you.
You can find me on Twitter, Don the South, all together. My IG is Don the South, _ between space of the name. That's pretty much it. My YouTube kind of dead right now, but it's gonna get popping back up. But my YouTube with the APL, you wanna go sign up and type that's where you can find it.
Well, that sounds good to me, man. So, all right, like I said, it was going to be a short little segment there. It's been kind of choppy. We only got 30 minutes left here in the show. But, hey, man, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for stopping by. And, hey, it has been a great, great little time there. Next time, I promise, we're going to get you back on here with an actual contender. We're going to have some fun with that. But, hey, man, last-minute thing for today in this crazy, hectic week. Thank you so much for jumping on the show today, man. We appreciate you. And thanks again. And, hey, best luck to those Falcons on Sunday night.
Hey, thank you, bro.
Always, brother. Take care, man. Have a good one.
You too, man.
Thank you. All right, y'all. Once again, the Dawn of the South, man. Got to show him some love, man. Great guy there. And once again, like I said, we took an L today for sure on 3 and Out. Definitely not one of our better weeks, but it is what it is. We're going to take ourselves a quick break. When we get back, well, we're going to jump right on into our last Primetime Face-Off. I think we have both contestants. I hope we do. If we don't, we'll have to do this again. So, is what it is. Tough week. Put it in the past. Move on to next week, right? So, anyway, you are listening to 3 and Out right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. We'll be right back after this.
From the home plate to the nets, the end zone to the finish line, here nothing is off limits and no sport is safe. Not what it seems with your host Caitlin Seam, bringing you sports like you've never heard before. Catch me Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, right here on IE Sports Radio. The only question is, are you ready?
Were you listening to a great game on USRN, but then the Wi-Fi crashed in the final seconds? Or do you simply want to listen to the best calls we here at USRN have to offer? Well then, you need to go check out our Audio Boom page. It holds a collection of our best calls that you don't want to miss. How do I get there, you ask? You can download the Audio Boom app and look up Ultimate Sports Radio, or simply go to audiobook.com/Ultimate Sports Radio. And as always, thanks for listening and making USRN one of the most talked about sports networks on Mixler.com.
Attention, all sports fans! If you're someone who wakes up each morning with lists of sporting events to go along with your to-do list for the day, then you just might be a diehard. The world of sports is as vast as the ocean is deep, including the major leagues, the minor leagues, the college, and everything in between. This is me, your boy Larry B of IE Sports Radio, welcoming you to join me every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on The Defining Moment, a show that focuses on what really matters in the sports world, sports themselves, and nothing outside of them. Once again, tune in for The Defining Moment with me, your boy Larry B, every Monday evening at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on IE Sports Radio, right here on Spreaker.com. We'll see you there.
Welcome back, football fans. Well, here we go. Last but not least, my gosh, this has been this show, like I said, has been out of hand, but we're okay. We redeemed it a little bit. Let's get to our final primetime face-off of the evening. We only had one, but big shout out to to the Dawn of the South for joining us a few minutes ago. And big ups to him, and of course big ups to Mr. John Felipe and to Mr. Dentarius Locke, man, for joining us in that first primetime face-off. So let's go ahead and jump on into this primetime face-off and talk a little bit about Monday Night Football and what a game this could really be. This thing has potential like crazy, but will it be that kind of a game for two teams who I seriously think they are already in a must-win situation just for morale? I'm dead serious. Like, I seriously think this is a must-win game for both these teams early on because, well, it needs to be. So, anyway, with that said, let's go ahead and introduce both of our guests for tonight. First things first, got to show him some love, man. He is, used to be, he was here on the show a couple weeks ago, actually about a month ago, and awesome to have him here, and really glad that he can join us. And, well, you know what, he's back here tonight, and hopefully, be back more and more times after this. Great guy, man. He is actually, going to be, I believe he already graduated, or really close to that, or maybe he's on, coming up in December. You can correct me for sure, Mr. Matt. Please do. But he's either an alum or really close to being an alum of the infamous Penn State University, as well as associate on the MLB, or broadcast associate on the MLB network, man. So, great guy. And as a matter of fact, he is an alum. So, my apologies. I looked at his Twitter. He is an alum, so my bad. But he is a Nittany Lion. And I'll tell you what, the guy loves his Jets. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the show, Mr. Matthew Lowndes. How's it going, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good. It's been an interesting week with the Jets, definitely, for sure. Lots gone down roster-wise, injury-wise, and of course the blown fourth quarter once again. So this Monday night, yeah, it is important for both teams, but it'll be interesting to see with the Jets, especially offensively. They added Marius Thomas this week, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing him.
I agree. It was something, man. So with that said, we're going to jump on into our next guest. Glad to have him here today. He's I love it because he's a part of those faithful fans that just never stop believing. Like, seriously, he seems like that kind of a guy, and I love it. He is all Browns, and I'm so excited that I love it because this show is by the fans for the fans, y'all. All about the diehards. Looking at his Twitter, he is all about the town. I mean, he is all 100% Cleveland guy, and you know what, man? It's awesome to have him aboard here tonight to get in this debate. He's even a Buckeye fan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in here for his first time and hopefully not the last. Glad to have him here on today to talk about his Cleveland Browns. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome you, Mr. Ben White. How's it going, Ben?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hey, you're very welcome, man.
Being a must-win for both teams. And, this week for the Browns, I guess the one thing, the only thing I can think of is Demarcus Randall was held out of practice, but they didn't say why. Otherwise, they're healthy, so I guess that's good.
Yeah, definitely. You guys have this team that, I hate to say it, last year I was all over this team, calling them a paper team because the Houston Texans were without a doubt a paper team last year. I don't care what anybody has to say, they were paper. This year they look like an actual football team. Like, they actually look what they do on paper, like on the field. So, just saying. So, this year, I really hope that's not the Cleveland Browns. So, let's get into the first question of the day, y'all, and jump on into X Factors. I love X Factors. You love X Factors. We all love the X Factors. So, let's go ahead and jump on into X Factors and talk about who you guys feel are the X Factors for your team. So you have 1 minute on the clock. Let's do this thing. So first up, we have the away team, the Cleveland Browns. So we will start things off here with Mr. Ben. You have 1 minute on the clock. Give me your X Factors for this game and why. Begin.
As far as the players, I think the X Factor is going to be Rashard Higgins. He is Baker Mayfield's security blanket. He actually left the game with an injury the other day, and I don't think he returned. But I believe he is practicing this week. So they just have to have him in their games, I think. I mean, he's kind of, I don't know if I would call him a possession receiver, but it just seems like he and Baker, they've had a connection ever since last year because they were both working on the second team. And Higgins always just seems to get him out of trouble. So that's the major X factor for me.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay, even took less than a minute. I'll take that. Okay, so Higgins, that's your X factor. I like it. All right, Matt, the ball's in your court now, man. Let us know who is or are the X factors, including you guys also are the home team, so the crowd could be a factor there. Of course, MetLife Stadium. Let me know, man. Let us all know right now listening, who are your X factors for this game?
Offensively, I mean, it's got to be, you look at Le'Veon Bell, you look at the offensive line, interesting game for both. Bell definitely played well, but for me, it's got to be, no doubt, Robbie Anderson, because he's got to get open and catch the ball, because he struggled to do that in week 1. It didn't really make sense at times, but sometimes you just got to go with it, and you got to understand that it was week 1, new offense, and maybe this week he'll be able to get open down the field. Defensively, it's Jordan Jenkins. If he can get to Baker Mayfield and cause havoc, I think maybe the Jets actually have a chance. And they slipped defensively as soon as C.J. Mosley got out with an injury the end of the third quarter last week.
Okay, well, both of you guys, great job, right under a minute, so good job. Okay, so good X factors there. You got one on the offense, one on the defense for Matt, and Higgins being the big boy, the target, if you will, for the Browns. I personally think, and this is just for my fantasy team, but Njoku, man, this guy's the real deal. I'd love to see him do good, but this is a tough game against a very, very tough Gang Green defense. So, with that said, let's go ahead and jump on now into the fun. This is usually the fun round where we like to have a little bit of head-to-head going on here. So let's go ahead and get to that. First and foremost, let's go ahead and get to the weaknesses. So, Ben, I want you to pick out something of the Jets that you think your Browns can expose and help you guys win this game. You have 1 minute on the clock. Begin.
I think the major weakness would be Darnold's ability to handle pressure. I think the Browns, if I saw something, I think Browns had the third most pressure on the quarterback last week. 46% of the time they got back, they either pressured, hurried, or sacked the quarterback in the first week. So I just think they can really get after Darnold and they'll especially be able to do that if they can get the Jets to abandon the run. I guess the game plan needs to be to get up a little bit early. I think all teams tend to panic and get away from the run. So that's the one thing I think they'll be able to expose if they can force them to pass.
Well, I honestly, that's a very good point there. And okay, well, there you go, Matt. You heard him. You heard what he had to say. Now you have 30 seconds on the clock. Defend your team.
I think the Jets have to expose the Browns' offensive line. I mean, it's Greg Williams. Of all defensive coordinators in the NFL, he knows Baker Mayfield the best. So I think with the Browns' poor offensive line, I think if the Jets can wreak havoc, and specifically Jordan Jenkins, Jamal Adams, and Leonard Williams, I think the Jets can have a chance and cause turnovers like they did last week and win the game.
You know what? That's a great point. And my apologies. I'm mistaken loss after loss on today's show. I'll tell you, man. Gosh. But I got to. Okay, so my apologies. But great job there in 30 seconds getting your your weaknesses in there. But okay, so let's go ahead and revisit that. And Matt, this is your time now. Go ahead. Okay, so he said that it was Sam Darnold's inability to handle pressure. So defending your team, so rebuttal, you have 30 seconds for this. What do you think? Do you feel that that's absolutely like, you know what? No, he's actually correct. Like, he's actually, or you're like, no, hell with that. No. Yeah, he looked like crap last week because he couldn't handle pressure, but this week he's going to be just fine. Like, let us know. What do you think? Like, do you feel that he's actually got a very good point there, or are you like, no, I believe my quarterback, and so let us know, man. You got 30 seconds. What do you think?
No, I think he's right, but I think the Jets know that as well, and I think they're going to prepare for that. Get the ball out of Darnold's hand quickly. 2, 3 seconds, quick passes, And when they're going to go deep, it'll be off play action. We'll see what happens. But I think the Jets understand that their offensive line isn't great, especially right now.
Okay, well, there you go. Great job. Okay, and basically, Ben, he could say offensive line sucks. Just kidding. But let us know, man. I mean, defend it. What do you think? He's got a point there? Or do you feel that, no, you know what, they just weren't prepared last week? What do you think?
Okay, I'll be the first to admit they looked awful, especially in the second half of the game. I think, obviously, they need to keep their heads about them. Greg Robinson can't be kicking people in the head this week. Maybe he can play the whole game. It was a rough week last week. Greg Robinson got thrown out of the game, and then his backup, Lamb, got injured, and then they had to reshuffle, and they brought a third-string lineman in named McCray, who had a couple good plays, and then it kind of just fell apart after that. So as long as they can keep their heads, they're not the best unit in the NFL, but I don't think they're the worst either. But they just got to keep their heads to try to play a whole game, I think. So I definitely kind of agree. They looked awful last week.
Okay, well, that works well. So, okay, well, with that said, a little bit over. It's okay, though. I wanted to make sure you got your points in, and good job there. So, let's go ahead and jump on into the game plans, guys. So, game plans. I want to know all about it. We'll start with you, Ben. We'll have a rebuttal in this as well, but we'll start with Ben, and let us know, man. Let us know what you think your game plan has to be for this game. Like, what do you guys have to do to win this thing? Like, 100%, like, no, these are the things we must do. So, you have a full minute on the clock. Let us know, how are you guys going to win this thing on the road on Monday night?
I think Cleveland needs to run the ball at least 30 times on Monday. They just can't abandon the run. I know it's just kind of the way, that's the way it is for, like, all NFL teams. I think teams will get away from the run. If they get down by more than one score, you'll see teams just start to pass on every down. And the Browns got to resist the urge to do that if it happens. And just to kind of go back to Matt's point, the Browns also need to do similar things for Mayfield that the Jets are going to have to do. Talking about, 3-step drops. They're not going to be able to get 7-step drops or anything, especially with the line. You don't want to take that chance, I don't think. You got to just do short drops. You got to get creative with the run game, I think. I know Williams is probably going to blitz a ton, so they'll probably have to do some creative run plays, maybe some draw plays to keep them off balance and some things like that.
Okay, well, that is right at the minute, right at the buzzer. I didn't even ring the bell. Great job there. Okay, well, great stuff. Okay, now, Matt, go ahead and rebuttal, man. You have 30 seconds. What do you think of his game plan for you guys? Do you think, you know what, that's actually, like, no, that makes tons of sense? Or you're like, you know what, no, this is not going to work because we're not going to let it work because of this. So let us know. What do you think?
I mean, Greg Williams probably won't let it work. I think he got to Josh Allen most of the game. Obviously, there was injuries defensively that affected the Jets in the fourth quarter, but Greg Williams is going to get to Baker Mayfield. I really do think it's going to happen. I think there's going to be turnovers in this game, and that could be how the game ends. Personally, I think defensively, offensive line-wise, it's going to be interesting for the Browns, but they're going to have to come up with some creative things to stop the Jets.
Okay, now it's your turn, Matt. Let us know. Tell us your game plan and why you feel that, but if you got what you guys execute, of course, tell us your game plan of what you guys have to do to win this game.
Give the ball to Le'Veon Bell. It's pretty simple. I mean, feed him. He got a good amount of carries and touches last week, but not enough. I mean, they got to give him the ball. We're paying him a lot of money now. I think it's time to just, if he wants it, give it to him. And I think it's simple as that. If he can play well, it'll open up the passing game, and Darnold will be able to calm down and throw the ball. So just give the ball to Le'Veon Bell.
I like it. Okay, well, it's going to be a run. If it's going the way you guys are saying it, I mean, Ben says you have to run it about 30 times. Give the ball to Le'Veon Bell on the Jet side. It's going to be my kind of game, a run fest. I love it. So, all right, Ben, what do you think, Ben? You have 30 seconds. Once again, defend your team. Do you feel that, that's a game plan that could work on us? Or you're like, no, because our defense isn't going to let that happen. So what do you think?
I think it's a good game plan. I think for the Browns to try to stop that game plan, they need to just stack the box and force Darnold to beat them. I just think it's their best chance. You gotta stop that run game, take some chances. They're going to need to get some better games out of their defensive backs. I know Denzel Ward got a very, very bad grade last week, but he looks really, really good all last year. So hopefully that's just a one-off for him. So hopefully they can get some good one-on-one coverage and just stack the box up against the Jets, see what they can do.
Okay, well, there you go. Good stuff. And, okay, so once again, gentlemen, thank you so much. I'm so glad you were able to be on today's show. And I am really excited. I mean, I can't believe we're already at the end of the segment. But once again, I know it was kind of just a rough one because, the time and everything was short. But the voting poll has just concluded. And, of course, I'm telling you, dropping the ball is not even the words to express for this show. It has just been a tough one. This week has just been a toughie. It really has. I mean, and to everybody out there who's been listening or who knows, or it's been a crazy thing. I mean, my gosh, I'm working right now, doing a lot, doing that. I just started grad school. I'm currently playing football as well right now, trying to my last gasp at a professional team, playing semi-pro, getting my film. Of course, I'm coaching varsity at my old high school. I'm actually, subbing at my old school as well, working there, and upholding IE Sports Radio, scheduling us every week, doing our best to, get that and do 3 shows a week. So it's a lot going on right now, but I just got to say, to everybody who bear with us today, thank you so much. To you two gentlemen, thank you so much for bearing with us with the time. We just literally, in the first segment, I mean, I love it. In the commercial break, Mike just basically said, Dontarius, one of our first guests, just basically said that, it's okay. Week 1 happens, like, we kind of got ahead of ourselves. We're so, and I really do think we love football, and we recapped it way too much in the week number 1. It just got away from us, and then all the craziness that happened in the last hour. I had to find a new fan. I'm an Eagles fan, left at the last minute, and I had to go find somebody else, and he didn't work out. And, oh my gosh, it's been a crazy show. So it's what it is. So with the voting poll, I didn't even send out the voting poll how I usually do with this one, so unfortunately we only got 7 votes. So this one doesn't even count. It does go with 86% of people think the Browns are going to win. However, it was only out of 7 people, so it's not even a lot, so it's not even a big deal whatsoever. So that's the voting poll, but next week we'll definitely have that up and running much better. However, I do want to know from both of you guys before we go ahead and jump off here. So with the away team first, Mr. Ben, let us know, man. I know some people are superstitious about this, and this is okay. But let me know. What do you think? Give us a final score for Monday night if you would like.
Okay, I'm going to go... See here, I'm going to go Browns 21, Jets 17.
Ooh, that's a close one. Any particular reason why you went with that score?
No, I don't think it's going to be super low scoring, but I don't think it's going to be super high scoring either. Like Matt said, the Jets are going to be trying to force some turnovers. I think the Browns will force Darnold into at least 1 interception. I think there will be some back and forth. You'll see both offenses struggle at times, but you'll definitely see a couple touchdowns from each team as well.
Okay, I like it. Alrighty, and what do you think, Matt? Give us your thoughts, man. Your final thoughts, of course, and if you would like to, go ahead and give us a score and why.
24-21 Jets. I think last week the kicker, he was the reason, or part of the reason the Jets lost. And I think this week with Sam Ficken, Penn State guy, I think maybe they get a game-winning field goal Monday night. It'll be a nice way to end back-to-back Monday nights.
It really would, and that would be awesome to see you guys, either of you teams win. Seriously, both of you, if somebody's got to win, I really hope it's not a tie. Oh my gosh. I think we've had enough of those for the season. We've only had 1. So, anyway, really quick, this is a good question. I want to ask both of you. I know you guys got to go, and it's okay, but real quick question. We'll start with Ben first, and then go to Matt. Okay, it may seem kind of dumb, and it's maybe I don't want this to cause injuries, but seriously, guys, how would you feel if we had college overtime rules in the NFL? Ben, what do you think?
I actually kind of like the way the NFL does it.
All right.
I know that's probably strange because it does create the tie possibility, especially with the 10 minutes now. I kind of think they should do it, go back to the 15 minutes and just keep it the way they have it.
I like that. Okay, Matt, what do you think?
I personally think it's time to come up with something a little different. Ties are pretty redundant, pretty frustrating for the players and the coaches and the fans. I would like to see something a little different. Maybe start the ball at the 40-yard line and both teams have a chance. It would be nice to see something a little more aggressive, a little more modern, something more fun, too.
I agree. I know college overtime is nasty. It is nasty, like very nasty. But of course, coming from a guy who loves college football, me, just my thoughts on it. But so great points by both of you guys. But with that said, let's go give you guys a few minutes here. So, Mr. Ben, thank you so much for being on today's show, man. Appreciate you taking out the time for tonight to put it aside for the show. Please let all these diehard Browns fans and NFL fans listening out there know where to find you on Twitter and anything else you'd like to share where they can find you.
On Twitter, I'm at WhiteyB11. I don't really have much to add to that.
Well, that works. And Mr. Matt, how about you?
On Twitter, I'm at Lowndes Matthew.
Alrighty, well, keeping it short and sweet, guys. That works. Okay, gentlemen, well, I appreciate you both so very much. Thank you guys very much for being on tonight's show. Once again, I know it was kind of crazy and hectic and everything, but appreciate you guys so much, and definitely look forward to having you guys back when things are much more normal than they were. So appreciate you both. Take care, and appreciate you guys, and I will be we'll hopefully be tweeting soon for sure, and definitely look to have you guys back very soon.
Thank you. I'd like to do that for sure.
That would be awesome.
Thank you.
You guys are very welcome. Take care, guys. Have a good one.
You too.
Alrighty, y'all. With that said, that will do it. That's going to do it for the final break as well of the evening, because we don't really have much. So if you guys just want to know, of course I'm going to give you my final weigh-in. But if you guys want to know the voting polls, because of course they just weren't much of anything, as we saw earlier. Out of 17 people, because these are just, I'm telling you, I didn't get the voting poll out as much as I wanted to. Carolina would, with 17 people, win with 71% over 29%. So, out of 17 of you, that's how many of you are taking the Panthers. On to the Atlanta Falcons and Philadelphia Eagles. 75% of you, over 25% of you out of 12 people took the Eagles, so not very much. And then, as I just mentioned, out of 7 people a little bit ago, Cleveland, 86% over 14%. Out of 7 people, 86% of you are taking the Browns. So, as you can see, it's not very many, but it is what it is. So, once again, I just wanted to say once more time, y'all, I apologize. It has been... it's been that kind of day, and it has been something, but it's okay. Me getting in the swing of things with colleagues right now, or with grad school, it is nuts. I mean, I was talking to one of my colleagues earlier during the week, and I love how she explained grad school. I always like to say that the undergrad is long, and it's drug out, and it's a lot, but the undergrad is kind of like a marathon, like a 26.5 mile, I think that's how much a marathon is, 5 mile run, where it is just ridiculous, like so much running, and just so much running. It feels like it's never going to end. It's just a lot, but there finally is a light at the end of the tunnel, and you find it. With the Masters, it's not that much. It's short and sweet, but it's basically like a mile. Just up a 5% grade, as I like to put it. And this teacher I was talking to, she was like, you know what, that's actually a pretty good analogy. She says, I've always explained it, or she says, I like to explain it like taking a sip of water, trying to take a sip of water out of a fire hose. And I was like, oh, that is perfect. So, yeah, it's really it. I mean, my gosh, there's just so much. But hey, I'm handling it well. I'm getting it done, and it's great. But as you can see, it's just kind of put a little damper on everything here. So I know it's been a rough one, and it's. But I appreciate all of my helpers too. By the way, can we give an applause to the IE Sports Radio PR team? I mean, seriously, y'all. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so very much, all of you. Turner Rodriguez. Mr. Terry Rodriguez, Miss Meg Renee, who's the head of the PR department, and Miss Angela Winstead. You are all awesome. I appreciate y'all so much for showing us love and, for helping us out and getting all of our stuff out and everything and making sure everything's, on time and scheduled. And so my apologies for, being kind of absent, but it's just a lot I'm handling at the moment and the lack of shows from me, that is. But Taryn and Meg and Angela, are helping me out so much, and they're awesome. So I just appreciate all of you and what you do. And there you have it. So anyway, I'm going to give you my final weigh-in. Sorry that you couldn't get John's and Kylan's and Mike's. But, okay, so first things first. Tomorrow night, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers. And personally, guys, it's just... I want it to be a really, really good game, and it just might. It really just might. There's a big chance that Jameis Winston rallies the troops, and the Buccaneers defense goes off. Ndamukong Suh, let's see what he can do. And if he has a big game, I really do feel that we could have a close game in our hands. However, I'm going to say a 10-point game. I'm going to say 31-21 Panthers, because I just think there's just a little more to that team. The Buccaneers are definitely getting better. But last week versus the Niners, I don't think the Niners are a better team than the Panthers at all. I think the Niners are a good team. They're definitely better than last year. Jimmy G's back, yeah, but I just don't see him. I don't see them being anything too special at the moment. And I think the Panthers are just better. So if the Buccaneers want to win this thing, they've definitely got to play a lot better. However, if they do, we could have a really good game on our hands. So we'll find out. But I think it's going to be a close one. It should be a fun one. Regardless, that'll be that. So anyway, let's go ahead and move it on now with Sunday Night Football. Once again, I got 31-21 Panthers over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Next up, Sunday Night Football, we have the Eagles taking on the Falcons. And personally, guys, I want to pick the Falcons so bad because, like the Dawn of the South said earlier, they do have a really good receiving core. I don't know about the best in the NFL, but they definitely have a very good receiving core. I'm really excited to see this team rebound. And you know what? I'm going to scrap that. I'm going to take them because here's the reason why I was going to go with the Eagles, because they're a tough, nasty team. I like Fletcher Cox a lot. I like Deshaun Jackson a lot. I like my gosh, I really think this team is a strong team. They're a very tough team, but I don't know what it is that just says right now the Falcons are on the warpath. They got beat down and bad by the Minnesota Vikings, and you know what? If there's ever a game to rebound, I'm gonna say it's this week. I'm gonna take the Falcons 24-17 to win this thing on Sunday Night Football. Should be a good game, and I'm gonna go with the Falcons. So after that, I'm gonna say on Monday Night Football, this is gonna be a close one. I am so excited for this game on next Monday night. But really, y'all, it's just. This is a battle, and this is going to be probably one of the best games of the week. It just might be the best game of the week, which would be perfect because it's Monday Night Football. So I'm going to say, this is going to be a close one. I'm going to say, I really want to take the Browns because a lot of my fantasy team is there. But I'm going to say, you know what? The Jets find a way to edge this one out at home because they played pretty well last week. They played 3 quarters of football. They played 3 quarters of football, and they just let up, and the Bills were like, "We'll take those 2 touchdowns and win it." The Browns gotta figure some stuff out. They got beat down by a pretty good, but in their defense, a pretty darn good Titans team who is a contender for the AFC South and can really go far. However, I think they can make it, at least a divisional round playoff appearance this year. However, the Browns, they didn't even look like they were one to play. Like they weren't even there. So I want to know what it is they can do. So next week, I'm not going to pick them this week. I'm not. I want to see them do well, of course, because it's my fantasy team, but I do feel like right now, this team is just, they've got to find their identity. And honestly, I think they're just gelling. So once they gel, they should be just fine. Until then, I think the Jets are a little more prepared. They're a little better, and I think I'm just going to go with the Jets. So I'm going to say Jets win this one, 27-24. The Jets find a way to win this one at home on a field goal. I like that. So, anyway, y'all, with that said, that will do it for tonight. My gosh, like I said, it has just been a show. It literally has been a show. Oh my gosh, a crazy one. But, like I said, I appreciate it all. All apologies out there once again. But I'm really excited for the coming weeks. Next week will not be this way, I promise. Be a lot more scheduled and better and everything now that I got everything scheduled out with my craziness and the whole bit. But with that said, y'all, I just want to thank you all for listening. For those of you who stuck with us for the long haul and kept listening, I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being a part of this show. Thank you for listening and making IE Sports Radio what it is. We got a really good schedule coming up for the rest of the week, of course. Not what it seems with Miss Caitlin Seam tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern time. No, she'll be happy the NFL's back. We have Caitlin will be doing double duty tomorrow because she'll be doing the extra mile as well, taking over for Daryl, as her and Miss Lolita Camello. Once again, her and Miss Lolita Camello and Mr. Michael Ward will bring it to you. Coming up tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern. And after that, we have Brandon Buckingham, Mr. Brandon Buckingham, and Mr. H-Town Blake Henley at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern time, talking some baseball, bases loaded. And then, if you're on the East Coast listening to this, then my gosh, you're awesome because you're staying up late. But of course, it's always in the podcast: iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Spotify. Everywhere you can find, almost everywhere you can find a podcast, Apple Podcasts, all over the place. But you can catch myself, Mr. Taryn Rodriguez, and myself for 3 and Out College Edition. We're talking about college football, of course. 8:30 p.m. Pacific time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern time. And then on Friday, ending off the week, we have the Soccer Scoreboard Show with Mr. Gabriel Montoya at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern. And then we may or may not have Ring Rambling Radio this week with Miss Felicia Ruiz, Mr. Martin Sandoval, and Mr. Matt Petrushka, but we'll let you know once again. Stay tuned to our social media. And that'll be that. So with that said, y'all, cue the music, because we're out of here! There you go, y'all. We are out of here for the week. My gosh, what a crazy show. But like I said, it's all right. We'll be back at it next week. Full go. You can follow me, your boy Larry B, at TBvsCAR_LB53 on Twitter. You can follow us all as a whole at IE Sports Radio on Twitter, on Instagram as well. And give us a like at IE Sports Radio as well on Facebook. We'd certainly like that. And check us out at IESportsRadio.com. Show us some love. We'd like to get more active on there as well. But anyway, with that said, that'll do it. We will see you next week. Until then, take care. And as always, God bless.